Even when you lost, there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Welcome everybody to the last day of the round of 32 of the BSL. Joining me is Raz, who was a fill-in yesterday and made it in. What's up, dude?
Oh, Nyoken, what's going on? Wild day yesterday. Was on the desk and was pulled away quick. Zero said, "You got to get in there." I said, "No problem. We got this."
I can tell you definitely had it on Nemesis. I'm sure people are taking notes. Ban that map if you get Raz because he doesn't lose there, dude.
I get tricky with those DTs. Get right through those eggs. Got to kill these simulators quick.
I know. I saw you killing them with the cannons. That was interesting. Never seen that before. But we've got two superstars today. We've got Zhanhun and TerrOr. Every time you see these people, you think they've got a shot to go the distance. But that makes me excited when we've got superstars like this, because that means we could have upset city. Because I know Zoom and SquaLL, definitely no slouch, and ZVP, always dangerous for the Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, Zhanhun monster, but Zoom is a very good player, solid, playing a long time. Definitely can make it happen. Very strong ZVP. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. And we have your favorite Nyoken El Champion, TerrOr, coming back, getting ready to take on SquaLL.
Yeah, the champion, he's here, dude. And he's going to be going up against SquaLL. And, actually, when I was practicing for my group, I hit SquaLL on the ladder, I think, 4 times. And I gotta say, he had a really good counter to this Valkyrie build that a lot of Terran players are using. He ended up going +2 armor mutas. Now, TerrOr doesn't strike me as somebody that will always go Valkyries, but because he's so flexible, I know for sure he's got it in the arsenal. So I kind of hope he pulls it up, because I want to see how Wall responds to him.
Yeah, TerrOr has just a bag of builds, right? He could do anything. That's what makes him so dangerous. He could hit you with the 8 racks, or he can go into some kind of quick factor into mech. He has it all. So SquaLL's definitely going to be on his toes, scouting as much as he can to get as much information, because you never know what TerrOr is going to pull out.
Yeah, that is so true. There are times, even when I'm casting, like I even see the build unfolding. I'm like, okay, it's tech. And then he puts down 3 more barracks on 1 base. I'm like, okay. So he's gonna bust, right? And then he does. Or he'll do like, I mean, it's just so weird how he plays sometimes. But he can also play macro. A lot of times when I play TerrOr on the ladder, he'll like gasless, and then he'll just straight up out macro you. So you got to be careful there too. You got to really know what he's doing. But meanwhile, on the top side, we haven't even talked about Zoom at all. When I first came back from Korea, I ended up playing Zoom a lot somehow on the ladder. Just every time I got a Zerg, I got him. And he was pretty good Terran versus Zerg. But as far as ZVP, not too sure of his playstyle. But going up against Zhanhun, he's going to have to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, Zhanhun we saw last season, right? Just a monster in all terms of the way. Just like these Chinese players have been, he is someone who is playing at the highest level. I know recently he played in that like China versus Korea show match where he, played against some of the biggest names and taking games from them. So he's no joke. All of these Chinese players, no jokes. They got it all. They're ready and they're coming in hot.
They are coming in hot. And I'm looking at Zhanhun's profile picture, and last night I saw a post in the BSL Discord of DeWalt versus 3 Chinese players, and I couldn't recognize the last player. Now I see Zhanhun's picture, and I see it's actually going to be a show match, DeWalt versus Mihu, Zhanhun, and Xiao Shuai. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely join the BSL Discord so you can get more details on that. But Zoom versus Zhanhun, I know our first map is Butter. This seems like a pretty standard map, pretty normal map, but thinking back to previous season, almost every game we saw of PvZ was a proxy gate or some type of aggressive opener with cannons. Wonder if Zhanhun will pull that out. With that said, I think our players are ready, so let's get into game 1, Zoom versus Zhanhun. And in the top right, our yellow Protoss. It is Zhanhun.
And in the bottom right, it's our Zerg player. It's Zoom. And you're right, Nyoken. The rushes on this thing with cannons is just so crazy because you can hide that probe back there. I feel like every time we see one of these Chinese players, Protoss playing in Zerg, they always send that probe early and hide it back there. Whether it's just to block the hatch or they're actually going to cannon rush if you try to go hatch first, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, it was disgusting because after the first time somebody did it, I thought to myself, okay, well now all the Zerg players, they're going to scout for it, right? No, they never scouted for it. It was literally every game. It was this cannon rush, and it was deadly every single time. Now we've got the forward pylon, we've got the probe coming back because it's not hanging around. This could be a 10 gate or I guess a forge. We'll wait and see what Zhanhun's. Okay, it's coming back instantly. So I guess it is going to be another early gate opener, and it is going to be a 10 gate.
Yeah, I'm surprised at his choice here for 10.
No.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Just because the rush distances are so far, and most Zergs when they play on Butter, they're going to do an overpull just because of the cannon builds and things like that. So usually don't get too much damage, but I think we saw a straight 9 pull there from Zoom. So Zhanhun's going to be on his toes early because this map here, there's so many openings. There's like a 3-gapper with that egg. Like you don't realize how big it is, and he can run those Zerglings right by without being able to block. So he's going to have to probably put a forge down right away once he notices what the build is.
Yep, and here comes that probe, and he sees no hatchery, so he knows that it was some type of early pool. He sees the Overlord just popped, but now he knows 100% that this was a 9 pool. And he also knows there's no way that hatchery can get down that quickly. So he does come back, and will just be... He's gotten off the first shot, so this drone could die. Okay, drone fighting back. And he does get the hatchery down. That was really nicely done from Zoom.
Yeah, that was well done to get that down. Oh, he's even going for with 8-ling, so he's going to really put on the pressure here. I'm assuming Zhanhun is going to put down the forge right away here so that he can kind of get some blocking going. He's going to need some surface area. Usually you could just do forge, no cannon versus the 9 pool, but we'll see what he opted. We saw the other day, Bond did throw down a cannon with it as well, but who knows what he will do.
Well, those Lings don't care about that probe at all. Just running ASAP to the natural. You can see there's just a probe on the right side right now. There's the gap, like you said, at the forge and gate, and he's in there.
We got 2. He's going through. All right, let's see what he can do with these. This becomes a problem here for Protoss. Now we're gonna have a little multitask battle. I mean, 2 Zerglings, having to keep drilling your probes or taking them off really affects your mining. It's gonna affect that Nexus time and everything else.
Look at this, the multitask from Zoom. He pokes with the Lings at the front, and he gets in 3 more. If this guy was pulling out something more like Soma with a fast gas, and this guy had speed, game would already be over. It would already be pure panic mode for Protoss. But because these Lings have no speed, this is at least manageable for Protoss. No probe kills yet. That's good control. He kills one of the Lings. Now, is that a cannon? I think that was a cannon, not an additional pylon in the main.
Nope.
Oh, it is a pylon.
Yeah, Zhanhun not too worried, it seems like, about these Lings. He's like, all right, I could use my probes. And we have a little bit of a counterattack here. This is dangerous. He saw the Lings being made. He's got to be careful here.
Oh, no, this is actually all falling apart. Zoom, okay, he does realize those are Zealots, not probes. But this is 7 Lings versus 2 Zealots plus a probe, though. I feel like Protoss can win that fight. That was a good pick off of the probe, but still, Zealots have at least half health, and there's still both of them remaining, only 4 lings remaining. Meanwhile, the 3 lings in the main still running around being annoying, but I still don't think they've really gotten any kills.
No, and we see speed going up, but the problem here for Zoom, he might have to commit to this if he's going to go with speed, because he is not making any drones from these larvae. He's continuously making Zerglings, and his economy is going to suffer for it. Oh, this is great right here. Now you can look at him using the geyser and the spawning pool here to kind of cut the surface area down so he can fight these lings. Really good from him.
Yeah, well, I don't know. As a Terran player despising Protoss, I don't know if I would say great, but it was a good move for him. He gets another drone, so that's 2 drones. Can he get a third? Already, Zoom was crippled, sitting at 11 drones. Now he's sitting at 9 drones. It's getting to the point where Zoom can't transition anymore. He's going to have to go for a Hail Mary, but he does have his lair going, but I wouldn't actually fault him if he canceled and went for a Hydra bust.
Yeah, I think that could be smart. He does get 2 probes, but his economy is just so slowed down from those zealots, and he lost a couple more drones. I think, oh, there it is. The Hydra Den does go down. He is going to go for it. Cancel that lair. Wow.
Wow, he does cancel.
Beast.
I feel like this is the only move he can do, right? Like, there's no way he can just try and salvage in terms of economy. I mean, he's got a lot of hatcheries in the sense that he does have 3 completed, all 3 on location, but he can't even use all the larvae. So I like this follow-up. I still think Zhanhun is going to hold, but what else can you really do in this situation?
Yeah, I think the early damage from the Zealots was just too much. I think he recognizes it. He knows he can't play into a mid and late game. He's just too far behind. So he's just going to go for the Hydra bust. And, you know, Hydras are a good unit. They're a strong unit. They love to break down these walls and cannons. So we'll see what he can get done.
Hydra definitely a good unit. And he's got a decent amount of lings that survive, so they can buffer a little bit of time against the Zealots. We do see a few drones being pumped out by Zoom. Actually, he's built more drones than I was anticipating, so maybe this is going to be a transition. No, here come the first three Hydras moving across the map.
Now,
what some Zerg do like to do is they send the first 3 to make it look like they're going for a bust, and then they drone behind it, but not going to trick Zhanhun here because he has this Sarah already in the base looking at what's going on, and he doesn't know.
Well, surprisingly, this could be a mistake from Zhanhun because the natural's wide open. There's 1 cannon, 1 zealot. If Zoom had gone for it, I think he could have busted. Now, he would have been in trouble because he's getting hit by 6 zealots right now. But I think he might have been able to bust the nat. But instead, Zoom does turn around, and he's just going to deal with these 6 zealots. However, 2 of the Hydras get instantly caught, able to sneak away.
Blocking the ramp with the Zealots, fighting up there. Oh, he did let Zerg up. Trying to take a good surface area fight here, but these are going to get cleaned up pretty quickly by those number of Hydra and Lings. Reinforcements coming down. Zhanhun's committing to this. He really wants to continue doing some work with these Zealots. I know speed is almost done for him, so maybe he's looking to do like a run by into the main, just keep sniping drones. He's like, you know, I damage your economy a lot. I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to keep making you make drones.
Well, that was a good hold from Zoom, and Zhanhun, I would say he's kind of missed his gateway timing. Like, he's just now starting it. He was still only on 1 forever. Now he's just putting down his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th one. So the hold was pretty good from Zoom. Now he's going to go for a counterattack, but these 2 Zealots are still alive at the 3rd base, and they have full health, so they're going to tank these 3 Hydras for sure. And Zoom, he's not able to damage the natural, so he's coming back again.
Man, these Zealots are just buying more and more time, forcing multitask from Zoom, and getting some drone kills and Hydra kills in between. And he's catching the army here, catching those Hydra, and the drones are being pulled.
Oh man, and he's going to get supply blocked. Look at this, 34 out of 35 supply. He may be shooting down to just out of 17 supply in a second, or 19 supply.
The multitask here from Zhanhun is just crazy, man. Yeah, the Sarah's going. He's got Zealots in 2, 3 different locations, just picking off drones, picking off overlords. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, this is off 1 gate. I mean,
yeah.
That's it. Imagine if there was multiple gates here. It would be just so many more Zealots. That 3rd hatchery is going to die, And I think Zoom's already accepted his fate at this point. He knows that the game's over, but he's going to continue to play, kind of keep his mindset straight, try and prepare for game 1, or game 2, I mean. Because this butter game, I mean, it is 100% over. There it is, GG.
GG. Wow. Yeah, you saw at the end there the worker count, 52 probes to 18 drones. Definitely a tough spot, but the multitask from Zhanhun is just crazy, man. Zealots everywhere, just going crazy.
I know his harassment in the main, while also dealing with the Lings in his main. Remember, there were 4 that got in. He killed 1 instantly, and then I don't know what happened to the 3rd one. He killed another one somehow while all that was happening, and all that was left over was 2. And as Protoss, you're really not scared of 2, so that was really well done from Zhanhun. Now, I would say, I guess the one good thing to look out from Zoom is at least it's his map pick now, and he'll be able to have his choice of a lot of standard maps. I know Vermeer is a great Zerg map. You're the Protoss player here. What map do you not want to play Zerg on?
Circuit Breaker, for sure. Circuit Breaker, if you want to call it what they always call it when they're created, because it is just so strong. Open map format, easily for them to take a natural and take another main. A lot of bases that Zerg can sit on and defend. A lot of pathways to get attacked on. So I usually will go with that as my first ban if I'm playing PvZ, and I get to ban a map because I don't want to play there.
Yeah, for sure. Circuit Breaker is a well-known Zerg map. I mean, it's just really fantastic. You know, the 3rd base also, no gas. He's got a mineral only. Zerg can sit on the high ground. I mean, it can contain you outside of the bridges. It's really a nightmare. But he goes with Vermeer, which I'm not surprised at this. It's a ladder map. You're going to have a ton of practice on it right now. It's standard. A lot of bases right next to you, right? Your 3rd base is right there. 4th base is right there. So I'm not surprised to see this.
Yeah, pretty standard pick there from Zoom. Just, I feel like Vermeer gets a little bit tricky ZVP because there are so many gas bases. Like, Protoss can get to a 3rd and a 4th gas pretty easily and kind of sit on their side of the map and move their army if they do go into that split map scenario. But if he's comfortable, sometimes it's better going with the comfort pick, something you know you have the build on, you're ready to play, and just execute what you want to do.
Well, he's going to need to execute well. He's going up against a favorite to win the entire tournament. I think we're ready to get into game 2, so let's get into it. It's Vermeer, Zoom versus Zhanhun. All right, in the top left, our blue Protoss. It is Zhanhun.
And in the bottom right, we have Zoom. So first thing that sticks out, obviously for me to get cross map, a little bit more difficult to do the gate opener and get that Zealot across. He might only opt for 1 this time if he does go with that, and then just sit back and take a Nexus.
Yeah, definitely could happen. I actually hope we have a J-Star moment where we have the 2-gate come down, because last season, J-Star 2-gated every game. PvZ. It didn't matter the map. It didn't matter the position. We're 2-gating. I want to see it, but I don't think that we're going to get it from Zhanhun.
Yeah. Interesting scouting pattern here from Zoom. I think he just wanted to move it so that Zhanhun can go to the 3rd base or 4th base like he just did there, so he can move it away and get the scout, but not going to matter because he's not in that upper right location.
Well, this is an interesting pattern. Is the probe going to go cross now? Okay, he is going to go cross. It looked like he may still have gone bottom left. So Zhanhun, okay, wait, is he going bottom middle? We going bottom middle?
So he's looking looking for the Overlord, and he's not going to find it because Zoom went the wrong way with his Overlord.
Hilariously, because Zoom did a mind game, I'm not going to scout mid-right, the probe may intercept the Overlord now in the center of the map. And he'll know where he is. Oh no, Zhanhun just barely gonna miss it.
Oh man, it's unfortunate for him. But we have a Forge opener in this game, so he's mixing it up, playing a little more just passive. Just gonna put his Nexus down, but he's gonna go into this base and go, "What happened? Did I miss that Overlord in the first scout?" And he's bottom left, so he might even go back to bottom left, thinking, "Oh my goodness, I missed the Overlord."
Yeah. And look at this, because of his weird his crazy weird scout pattern, he has no idea what this is, so he puts down 2 cannons in response because you have no vision, you don't know what's going on. 1 cannon would die to 9 lings, So he's just playing safe, and Zoom has gotten away with hatch first. So this is as good of an opener as this could possibly have gone for Zoom.
Yeah. 2 cannons, no Nexus yet versus a hatch first. Absolutely devastating, but... wow. He got one canceled cannon, so he can save and just put down his Nexus right away, and then the gateway. But last game he did see a 9 pool, so maybe he was just concerned. He's like, oh, this guy with 9 pool last game, he'll probably just open the same way. So he just was like 2 cannons to be safe, but not this time.
Yeah, and that was a clutch cancel on the cannon. Saves about 120 minerals. Gets his Nexus down, you know, maybe about 10 to 15 seconds quicker than it would have. So, nice transition there, and we do have the gateway instantly, gas instantly. Of course, this is the point in the game where Protoss has a lot of decisions. Okay, actually, Protoss has more decisions than I thought, because that probe instantly died, and now Zoom could go for something like a 2-hatch Hydra bus. He'd go for something weird, and Protoss is in the dark and has to make a judgment call on what Zerg is doing.
Yeah, and speed is on the way. So 1 cannon will not be able to hold 6 lings with speed. They can just run right by it. They might just get 2. He may see these and have to pull some probes here. And no, he's not. He's going to try to kill the probe first because he has the 2-hatch Hydra here.
Okay, well, I love whenever Zergs leave 2 lings on the ramp. Now, they are not technically right in the center of the ramp. Okay, now he's repositioned him. Cannot let that probe in. If the probe comes in and sees this 2-hatch Hydra, the game is kind of over for Zerg. 4 lings run into the natural, and it's going to shut down mining, which is nice. However, a couple of those lings took some cannon shots, so I think 1 zealot can win the fight. However, probes were not on the ramp, and now we've got 3 lings into the main.
And these are speedlings this time, Nyoken. Much harder to chase down, much harder for the zealots to catch in the probes. Should be able to pick someone, see what he does. Oh, forces a pull. That's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't even hate it if he builds a cannon here, because this is just going to be so annoying to deal with. He actually hasn't lost much mining, just the gas, but he cannot let this probe in. Cannot do it. The probe, can he get in there? Oh, no, you can't. Okay, he takes him down.
All right. That's usually a little bit of a signal. Oh no, those lings died in the mains. I thought that they would stay longer, but this usually should be a signal a little bit to Zhanhun that something is up. He didn't see a 3rd hatchery. He saw how much time Zoom was putting into blocking that ramp. And he's probably say, okay, there's something going on. Is this 2-hatch Muta, or is it did you throw a Hydrogen down? He should know that something is up. And we do see him moving across with 3 zealots to try to get more of that information. And he is going to see it.
Oh, he sees 1 Hydra. I mean, Hydras are good, but do you think this 1 Hydra and 2 lings can take down 2 cannons?
I don't think so, unless it's a hunter-killer Hydra. It's the only way.
Well, the 3 zealots instantly turn around. He knows the threat. He doesn't know that it was just 2 hatch, and actually there's only, I guess, 4 Hydras out on the map right now. So he turns around. Range is going to kick in pretty soon, actually, and Zoom is transitioning into a 3rd base and lair. So he is going to have big eco follow-up along with a decent amount of tech. And look at that, Forge already canceled the +1 upgrade because that's 100% going to die.
Yeah, and we see him having +1 air weapons going. I'm surprised he didn't cancel that to reallocate the gas, knowing that it's a Hydra play. I guess he's going to try to get a couple Sarah out as the game goes here. Always a good thing, but thought he might want to change it up there. I gotta say, now, an interesting build here from Zoom to go to 2-hatch Hydra into a lair with then a 3rd hatch. I wonder if he's just going to put down 2 more hatches and just continue into 5-hatch Hydra, maybe with a contain. I think that's where he's trying to go with this, because our larva count was so low.
Yeah, that could be the case. And while he was microing those lings, I saw his minerals getting higher and higher and higher, and I was thinking, uh-oh, this 2-hatch all-in isn't necessarily going to be a great all-in since we're not using our larva. But he's now transitioning it into 4-hatch, probably going to have that 5th hatch like you said. I saw the lair it should be done now, right? So lurker upgrade, okay, hasn't started, but I was expecting him to start it pretty soon. He's got the gas for it.
Yeah. Maybe he'll even try a little bit of drop play, knowing that only 1 Sarah on the map, also an option for him for Zoom, trying to pull Zhanhun all over, get a couple lurkers and mineral lines, just be devastating. But no, there is a Spire going now. So now we're going into 4 hatch with the Spire.
Yeah, I don't think that this build did enough damage, and now the Sair gets full intel off, and like you said, Zhanhun knew that there's no third hatch anyway, so he should be feeling like, okay, this guy did some kind of semi all-in. All he really got was my forge. I didn't take any damage to my natural. I didn't overbuild cannons. I didn't lose any zealots. I didn't lose any probes. So I feel like if he still just hits his 7 or 8 gate timing, I think he's going to run him over, because look at that probe count. It's really high. He's got massive eco.
Yeah, he's been on that 45 pro count for like a minute now. I mean, he did not miss a probe and in any of those projection rounds. He got them all.
We've got the Spire done. The Sair count is still very low, so a Muta switch could be very interesting. We know that Zoom has the gas. He's been mining his nat gas for a while. Here comes the Zealot move out, but I just don't see how you're going to stop this amount of Protoss. Maybe he'll be able to stop this initial attack, but there's 7 gateways on the field, and it is a Muta switch.
Yeah, and he's going to lose 2 Overlords by Zhanhun's base, which is going to cause a little bit of a supply block there as well. One goes down, the second one is falling right now, and he's just pressuring to make sure these Hydras stay back so this Sair can do its job.
Well, the Muta switch could be the one move that does save Zoom here, because there's no anti-air. There is one Sair, maybe that's the second one that just popped out. But this is going to be at least 5 Mutas that I saw. Here comes another round of Zealots, and now this should be something like 15 Zealots, so this is going to be quite dangerous. But actually, okay, they are going to have a big battle in the center of that. No, actually, Zhanhun's going to be pushed back, so maybe Zoom has more than I thought. Supplies are decent, 70 versus 90. This is manageable for Zerg, but the supply block is pretty punishing.
Yeah, he's going to see this Muta switch now. He's going to know he's going to probably morph maybe one Archon along with the Zealots and the Sair so he can push through. I mean, he already has 4 Templar, banking energy. Oh, can he catch it? Can he catch it? Oh, didn't see. Oh, going to the Hydra may catch some.
Oh my gosh, he does lose one of the Sairs, but he did have 4 Templars pop out at the same time, so those could be morphed into Archons. No, he is not going to morph them into Archons. I'm kind of surprised about that, but he is instead going to start banking up more Sairs. He's slowly producing them in his main. He's at 3, and he does have +1 weapon, so they are quite strong, even though they are only in low numbers. Oh, we can't lose these, Raz. That's our lifeline.
Oh no. It hurts me to watch. It hurts me to watch. That Templar's dancing, baby. Templar's dancing.
That was really good control from Zhanhun to at least save one of the Templars, and he killed 6 or 7 Mutas. So that was a big commitment to Mutas from Zoom, and he killed the majority of them. So that's really good for Zhanhun. Right now, coming in, and we may have a lurker switch.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lurker contain here from Zhanhun, from Zoom, which has been very popular when it was an ASL map. We saw a lot of Zerg go with the lurker contain, and it was really hard for Protoss to get out of their natural. So I definitely like that choice from Zoom, but he's got to stop these units from coming out before his contain gets up. Oh, the Muta are going down.
They're getting melted, and there's so many Zealots here. He also spots the lurker egg, so he can kill that off. Luckily, Zealots don't do the most damage to eggs, so maybe it will survive, but the Hydras are just getting overrun by the Zealot count.
Yeah, there's so many units here from Zhanhun. His macro is just crazy. He's just pushing out units nonstop. Oh, and that lurker does get down, so that'll deny that third base, at least for a little while here. Sair's getting picked off. That's a pretty good catch there from Zoom.
Yep, and here comes another Zealot Corsair engagement. Zoom has done a good job to whittle down the Corsair count, but it's just, look at how much blue is moving across the map. You know those are all Zealots. All of them, every single one of them. He just has so many of them. The drone count from Zoom is fantastic. His eco's amazing. He just has to survive here.
Yeah, it could be a tough task here. There are so many Zealots with just more streaming across the map. It's just crazy, man. That 8 gateway production. Oh, Nyoken, not the Overlords. We need those.
Yeah, he found them all. But actually, does Zoom have enough? For some reason, Zhanhun doesn't feel confident to commit to those Overlords, so he backs off. And that means that Zoom may actually, oh no, actually he's coming in for round 2. Zealots are doing more work than Zhanhun expected, and look at top right, Raz. He said, F that lurker, I'm not even going to bother expanding there, I'm going to take top right.
Wow. confident boy there, making it happen. Oh, man.
We need lurker eggs on that ramp. But they're out of sync, and he lit him in.
Oh, my goodness. 3 more.
It's getting wild.
3 more. Come on, you can do it. You can get it down there. All right, we do see the... Oh, there's 2 in the main. But we do see that those overlords did survive in the 3rd base, so that's important.
Yeah, this... I mean, if we... Oh, my God, he's starting to kill so many drones. Still, the drone count is pretty good at 35. But the problem is he just lost so many Hydras. If he was able to save more Hydras, maybe he'd go for counterattack. I don't know why there's an Overlord there, but he sees the probe transition to top right. So an instant counterattack to top right may be able to catch him off guard. But, of course, Zhanhun knows that he saw it. So he's moving onto the right side to kind of just make sure that that doesn't happen. And he's going to clear this lurker. So 4th base could be coming down for Zhanhun in just a second. Meanwhile, Zoom, he's taking a 4th base at a weird location too.
Yeah, he said, oh, I think you're the only one that can do it, Zhanhun?
Yeah.
I can take a random base as well. Don't worry about it. But I just don't know how he holds that if it's ever found. With the Sarah flying around and the army, it's not like he can be like Zhanhun, who's going to put 5-6 cannons in a Templar up there and just hold.
Yeah, I think he's relying on it being an LZ Gamer base and never getting scouted. And unfortunately, more Overlords get intercepted right when he became unsupply blocked. He gets instantly set back again. And this time around, okay, Zhanhun's not going to commit. But if he knew there were no Sunkens here, I think he would definitely go for it, because I don't think pure Hydras would be able to stop this army.
Yeah, no way. Especially with the goon count starting to get up there a little bit. He's just rallying out goons now. He's going to be able to push through this Hydra Lurker army with the temps pretty easily. So Zoom's going to want to get some kind of setup, but he is just pushing it out. Maybe he thinks that he is in a spot where he has enough eco to just go Hydra Man and break him down, but I do not think that is the case here.
Yeah, and these supply blocks, oh my God, it's so painful because he just built an Overlord. But look, he's still supply blocked. He only built 1, and that's going to trigger Zoom to just go for it. I think he's been blocked for so long that he's got to make something happen, and he eats a huge storm. Half of his army's gone in an instant. That wasn't even Zhanhun's army. This is just what he produced out of his gateways, and this is going to be the entirety of Zoom's army cleaned up, and we may see the GG.
Yeah, wow. Just so much Protoss here, and there it is, GG. Zhanhun not missing a beat, man. Those macro rounds of Zealots, it's like you're like, oh, there's 5. Oh, wait, there's 15. There's 30. Where did all these Zealots come from? It was just wild. Streaming them across the map.
I know. I thought Zoom actually transitioned pretty well off of his 2-hatch Hydra. He didn't commit too hard. He forced a decent amount of cannons. He had good eco. But the Zealots, just so many of them. Also, if he didn't lose so many mutas when he sniped those Templars, maybe he could have controlled the flow of the game in the mid-game a little bit longer, let his eco kick in. But it is what it is. Whenever you're playing someone like Zhanhun, I mean, it's hard to not misstep. Like, they force mistakes when you're playing good opponents. So Zhanhun, he does move into the winner's match. I don't think really anybody's surprised there. But we've got ZVT coming up next, which is going to be SquaLL versus TerrOr. So definitely don't go anywhere. We are back, and we just saw Zhanhun slap down another Zerg. You know, Raz, I was looking at the BSL players that have qualified. 8 Protoss. 8. If Zhanhun makes it in, that's going to be 9. So we're going to have a majority in a 3-race game of Protoss players. I like Zhanhun, but I got to say I'm rooting for anybody else to make it out of this group.
Yeah, those Protoss players are just awful people, you know? Just terrible people. Just awful. But hey, we'll cheer for, you know, the other races too. We'll get him in there. We'll get him in there somehow. Well, your boy TerrOr, here it is. This is his moment to push himself into the winners match. Can he do it against SquaLL is the question. Now, first map being Butter. Are we going to see some trickery right away? Nyoken, are we going to see some crazy, like, 8 racks in a quick proxy factory? What are we going to see here?
I mean, you never know with TerrOr, right? It's a 2-player map, so if I'm sitting here thinking about a normal scenario on a 2-player map, why would you 8 racks? It's going to get scouted instantly. You know where your opponent is. I don't think we're going to see an 8 racks, but at the same time, we could see like shenanigans, 8 racks out in the front, and then he, like, for example, builds a factory at the 3rd base, floats it into your main. I mean, you never know, right? I mean, he literally can play anything. He's the Shine of Terran in the foreign scene.
Right. Well, I think our players are ready, so let's see what... Oh. Sorry, we're going to be testing latency. We're going to make sure the players are getting that TR24 or as close as possible to it.
Well, like I said, when I was practicing, I played SquaLL at least 3 or 4 times, and he did go armor every single time. Now, he did go into 2 armor on his mutas. Now, I don't know if that was in response to seeing me go Valkyries, or if this is just the style he likes, but when I see players go for armor in ZVT, air armor I mean, that could also mean Guardians. So we may see some type of Hydra Guardian if we can get to mid-late game versus TerrOr. And that's a very deadly style. I actually hope we do get to late game, or mid game I mean, because that's a build that is really hard to stop. I'd like to see what TerrOr comes up with on and how to stop it.
Yeah. Which base do you think is best for a Zerg to take as their 3rd? I know I've seen some pro players go for the 3rd right by their base. I've seen other ones take the ones that are far towards the left side of the map so they can kind of get a better, just one pathway in. Think there's a preference for Zerg to do?
I think if I was Zerg, I would pick the high ground base because you can put 2 lurkers on the ramps and just shred anything that comes up. Like, Terran's going to have to be really ballsy to try and just force their way up there. Also, if you take a 3rd base, you can put defense there and it kind of denies drop too. So if I was Zerg, I would pick the high ground base.
Yeah, that makes sense. Protecting from drop, especially on this map, is definitely something you need to do with the players both being on the right side and kind of easy access there. But Butter also a good map for Zerg to muta harass, because Terran can't make so many turrets by that pathway from the main to the nat. So I know that's like a little bit of a sweet spot for a lot of muta harass. So we'll see if SquaLL can abuse some of these map features to the best of his ability.
Yeah, when this map first came out, I remember a lot of pros just going mech or delayed mech Goliath play because it was just so brutal moving between your main and natural. It's kind of similar to Sylphid, where if the muta's getting that sweet spot and you don't have an overwhelming amount of turrets or marines, all of a sudden 1 marine down, 2 marine down, oh look, I lost like 10 marines, which could be half of my army, and I killed no mutas. So definitely TerrOr is going to have to be careful if there is ever a situation where the muta flock is overwhelming. But yeah, we may not get to that. I mean, we may not even get to mutas on the map. TerrOr may have something planned where I just want to end this guy before he even gets into a normal state. And finally, we are ready to get into game 1. It is on Butter between the champion TerrOr himself going up against SquaLL. And in the top right, our red Zerg, it is SquaLL.
And in the bottom right, El Champion, it's TerrOr. We see his name is 14cc Lover here, and I think he's going to throw that in the mix.
Oh, 100% he's going to throw it in. Will he throw it in on Butter? I don't know about that, but could definitely see it on Premiere or Circuit Breakers. 100% he could throw it in. And this could just be a mind game, right? Just look at this guy's name, 14cc. Oh, you like the 14cc? I bet you're doing it because you think that I'm going to think it's going to be a 14cc. So you know what? I don't think it's going to be. But Terror's ahead of those mind games. He may just go 14cc anyways.
I know that you know that I know. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm going to do it anyway. I like it.
The poker leveling wars. But actually, this is what I was most expecting to see is bottom right, you can complete wall. And I think any map that's able to be completely walled like this, 1 depot, 1 racks, Terror's going to do it every single time. Now, this SCV is interesting because what's this intending to do? Is it just going to try and block the natural? And if you do block the natural, well, that forces a pool opener, and we'll see how Terror adapts to that.
Oh, man. It looks like we are going to go. Yes, we are going to have a block here from TerrOr. Man, it's going to be tough for SquaLL here to take that natural right away. He's going to have to put down the pool, like you said, or he has to take a hatchery somewhere else, which in ZBT, that's difficult. Then how do you stop all the marine pressure?
Uh-oh, this is really bad news for SquaLL. First, he goes 12 pool. Like I said, he's going to force the pool, which Terror is fine with that. He doesn't care. But the main issue here is his SquaLL pulled 4 drones. That's going to be tons of lost mining, but actually I think this is the correct number to pull. He's going to be able to kill the eBay pretty quickly, and I expect him to have close to 300 minerals to put down an instant hatch. So this was actually a really good response from SquaLL, and I think he's going to take the minimum amount of damage. Look at that timing. It's almost perfectly at 300. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not another one.
Oh
Not another
no.
one. Of course. The champion strikes again. Round 2 eBay, and now this is devastating for SquaLL.
And in TerrOr's base, we see that he took the gas, so he will be going with a factory opener. How does he get a sunken down to defend his vulture?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't think he'll have a sunken down. And the hardest part is when you see a wall like this, you don't know what the hell this guy is transitioning. I see TerrOr still mining gas, right? This could be Wraith. But it may not be Wraith. It could be an Academy. Go for that 3 racks build that I was talking about earlier, which we know he loves. He beat Larva with it. He beat actual ASL champ Larva with that build. Now, I gotta tell you, SquaLL 100% has not faced this, so he's going into a really awkward build. This is 2 hatch Hydra, no lair. This looks like a ZVP build.
Yeah, this is crazy. I guess he's just anticipating that this is going to be some kind of mech playing. So he is just going to say, I'm just going to get the Hydra and I'm just going to hold. Because if it is factory port, how does he protect his Overlords right away? I guess Spore. So he's going to need these Hydra, I think, no matter what.
Yeah, he actually got okay, there's the Academy.
Oh,
So
man.
I thought it was going to be 3 racks with the Vulture because I know TerrOr likes that build, but I did see TerrOr was still mining gas, so it could have been Starport. I think actually SquaLL got really lucky that he's gone for Hydra on 2 hatch versus a Starport opener, because if he had gone Hydra versus 3 racks, oh, you have literally nothing to engage. Oh my god, there it is, 3
Oh
racks.
my
I don't know what the
goodness.
Starport's for. Is this for dropships? Is this for vessel? What is this for?
I don't know. I do not know. This is a wild one. And we know this is something that TerrOr's got up his sleeve. He could plot any create. Oh, we're going for a Wraith. We're going to snipe some Overlords now, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, he saw the Hydras move out with his Vulture, and they have speed, so there's no way that this is lair. If TerrOr just puts down a bunker, his main's gonna be fine. He's got 3 racks coming up behind it. I would actually like it more if he canceled the Wraith and had gone into tank now that he spotted the Hydras, but TerrOr's more comfortable in this situation than I am. We'll see how this works out for him. Wall comes in here and he's denied already. I think at most he's going to get a depot. There's no way he's going to get the racks. And SCV's out on the map, so he repaired the Vulture. Vulture's ready to go again.
Oh, he's make it. Oh,
Oh
he's
my
gonna
God.
see here though that there is just no drones. It is just pure Hydra being produced.
Yeah, pure Hydra. So now Terror knows it's like, dude, I just have to live, and I'm golden. He's just got to get range on his academy. Then he can start firing back at those Hydras. There's a Wraith in the main, which gets a
Oh,
kill.
no.
SquaLL didn't realize at all.
The depot goes down, but that bunker can live for forever. Oh my God,
No.
2 drones, and he's already on a low eco.
Oh, okay, well, he lifts the racks, and the Hydralings could run by. There's actually not that many Marines here, so maybe SquaLL can actually kill Terror right now. Look at the medics healing those SCVs for so long, buying so much time, but the bunker is just too strong, and just barely SquaLL's not going to be able to get in.
Wow, repair, OP.
OP, man.
OP,
about that
man,
Wraith?
these repairs.
How many kills that Wraith have? No, we can't transition now. Can't drone up now.
Oh, man.
He's droning up, but this is 3 racks.
Oh.
Marine Medic are just going to move out and kill him. Also, there's a starport. That means that dropship could be coming in at any point. Vulture gets in and gets a kill.
No, not more drones. Oof. I think we're down to 2 racks down there, Nick. We lost 1. The Hydras were able to snipe 1 rack, so this is just 2 racks production. So that will help SquaLL a little bit at least. That not as many units are being pumped out here by Terror, but man, the eco damage has been a whole bunch here from Terror on SquaLL.
That is true. I did not consider that killing that Rax was a really big loss for Terror. It's going to take him a long time to actually build up an army that you're feeling confident as Terran to move out with. Now, meanwhile, having Lair, he's going to be able to get into Lurkers, and if he instantly upgraded Lurkers, he may actually have them in time before Terror can move out. But Terror, he's starting to get out into the map, and we need Lurkers now. But like I said, the fear of the drop pushes all the Hydras into the main. And look at the natural. I mean, there's nothing. Zilch. Nada. Zero.
He killed the Overlord and snuck the bio out. So SquaLL does not even know that this bio is moving across the map. And he's going to find out. Big surprise for him. He's going to panic.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, entire Bioforce. So he is throwing down emergency panic sunkens, but they're not. There's just no way they're going to be in time. This Bioforce is going to stem up and go, oh, we put 2 Lurk Regs in the front.
That's a cute move because it messes up the AI of the Marines. I think that was a really smart move from SquaLL. Look at half of the Marines really not firing. And also because the Sunkens are morphing, the Marines aren't targeting the Sunkens, but it's just too little, too late. And that is Terror taking game 1 in Terror fashion. Just complete mind games from the get-go.
Just crazy. Double eBay block into the factory. 1 Vulture, 1 Wraith into 3 racks bio, 1 base, just pushes through. Just wild. He must be watching the Boxer streams because these are the Boxer builds that he likes to pull out with these 1 base, crazy amount of units. Just get after it and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it is just so hard to play versus Terror because, like I said, you don't know what the hell he's doing. You just have no idea. You scout him, but you didn't really scout him. You gotta be on top of your game versus him. I actually, if it was any other Terran, I think SquaLL's scout pattern with his Overlord is fine. But versus Terror, you gotta get in the main. If you're on a 2-player map and you have direct access to the gas, we need to get in there. We need to know, what is this?
Yeah, because we just saw he could pull out some crazy build. eBay block, like insane, and then just to go into a 3 racks was crazy. And I thought him losing 1 of the barracks was actually gonna delay that move out timing, but it seemed like it didn't make a difference just too much.
Yeah, Terror built up his army real quick. I mean, I also have the same feeling when I play Terror. Sometimes I feel like I have as many factories as him, and I move out, and I'm like, why do you have 10 more tanks than I do? But you just do. Somehow, he pulls them out of thin hair. He's just got so much stuff. Well, it's going to be SquaLL's pick, and again, I think we're going to see Vermeer or Circuit Breakers, but more than likely, I would bet on Vermeer just because it is in the ladder map pool. You've got so much practice. This is a really good Zerg map. I mean, think about it. Every base has gas. If Zerg gets to late game, how many ultras do you think Zerg can build? I mean, they're just going to build endless ultralists, just non-stop high-tech units. But versus Terror, you just don't ever get to late game. You just don't ever get into a normal game state with him because he dictates the flow of the game from the get-go.
Yeah, it's so hard to choose. I actually thought he might pick Sylphid. I know that's a pretty good ZBT map there for you to harass, but I guess he just wants to try to get in the late game like you're saying. All right, our players are ready, so we're going to jump into game number 2.
Okay, in the top left, our blue Zerg, it is SquaLL.
And in the bottom right, the 14 CC lover himself, it's TerrOr. All right,
Well, you know,
is this the time, Nyoken? Is this it?
You know, I like to make predictions. I think this is an 8 Rex. I think that this map is okay for a semi-wall, like the ample style semi-wall where you double depot with a Rex at the front of your base, and you kind of have a small gap. I think this is an 8 Rex from CC Lover here, but I think I'm wrong this time around because he's not sending out that SCV fast enough to build that 8 Rex.
On the move now. It's on the move. Now we get to the 9th SCB, so I guess we're just going to make that semi-wall like you're talking about there on the outside.
Yeah, so no 8 Rex this time around, but again, this is another map where you can wall, and just knowing Terror, he's on the Nyoken wall hype train. He will wall every single time he can, and unfortunately for SquaLL, it's cross spawn, so it's going to be a last scout for him. And again, CC Lover here is going to have a lot of options. He can wall off, go gas. He can wall off, go CC. All types of builds you can do in this position.
Yeah, even a mech style play if he likes to. That's what he wants to opt for. Now, do you think that the cross positions benefit SquaLL minus the scouting to actually be able to have some time, see these move outs a little bit quicker than he did last game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what, like 10 seconds longer rush distance cross spawn, but because it doesn't seem like Terror's going for an aggressive opener yet, don't really think this is going to be that much of a benefit to SquaLL. It looks like Terror is just going to go for standard command center follow-up. He misses the Overlord just barely, so actually this could be bad news for Terror. If he scouts top right, didn't see the Overlord, he may go for a cross scout here and find SquaLL last.
The end scout coming in maybe from him. Well,
there he goes. It is the end scout.
Where's coming back home?
Now is that a gap? The drone can drill through for sure. Okay, I thought that was a gap. I was like, man, that looks like a pretty big gap. So, like I said, it is just the semi-wall, but he does come in here. Yeah, I think going back in with that drone, you 100% need to come in again. But the scary part is he didn't confirm the command center. All he saw was the SCV. And like I said, versus Terror, you really got to know what it is that you're facing. This could be another mind game. Like, hey, you saw the SCV, but haha, I've got 2-port Wraith coming.
Oh man, I know. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, the drone goes back in. We didn't really see it. That's kind of gives SquaLL a little bit of worry. He's going to have to start, maybe get a couple of lings down there to confirm or something, because you don't want to leave it open, because you know anything can happen.
I would have loved it if this was actually like a 2-fact speed vulture opener. And then I wish we had like SquaLL's cam, right? Because you know he would be freaking out. Like, what the hell is this? But luckily for him, it is just normal. And that SCV almost died. And based on the first game where we had a crazy Hydra bust from SquaLL, actually this is a good pushback from SquaLL to make Terror be the one in the dark.
Yeah, I was going to say only 2 lings scouted by Terror. Is that going to maybe push him to move out a little bit? And sure enough, he is. He's saying, all right, you're going to be greed a little bit. I'll keep your lings over here, and I'm going to go across the map with just a couple Marines and pick off as many drones as I can. So he does have a move out. Let's see if he responds or even scouts it. That Overlord may see it.
Yeah, the Overlord's going to see it, and Marines walk pretty damn slow. So even if these eggs morphing aren't lings, which apparently they're not, All this should do is force a pull of drones, but maybe not. Look how long it takes for Marines to flat out get here. Lings may actually pop out in the nick of time, and losing 4 Marines is a big loss for Terran. Oh, he's going to go in behind the minerals. Now, this is annoying, especially if he can get the SCV in front. Oh, okay, that was nice. 1 Ling for 1 SCV, that's fantastic.
Here we go. Gonna get that surround on.
And this was, I would say it was an okay trade for Terror. He ends up forcing a lot of lost mining time. He forces out a decent amount of Lings. What was it, 6? But SquaLL, I mean, it's not like he had already produced 6 Lings and now you've produced 12. I mean, he only produced 2. So to produce 8, that's not the biggest win for Terror. I would say it's probably just an even trade. So nice hold from SquaLL there. And we do have Raxes being flooded. This is 4 racks for now. I've seen players go into 5 racks, but every time I see it versus the 2-hatch Zerg type of play, it feels very ambitious, but the scan goes off and he sees that the Spire's a little bit late, so this could actually be 5 racks instead of 4.
And Terror getting a really good scan there. He sees the 3rd hatchery, so he knows this is not a 2-hatch Muta type play. He's going to have this 2.5 hatch coming at him, so there will be a little more eco there from SquaLL. So he knows the exact timing of that Spire, so he'll be able to put his turrets down in time as well. So he has seen it all. Nothing tricky that's coming from SquaLL, and he knows it.
Yep, we've got just both players powering up right now. The scan from Terror seeing the 3rd hatch was perfect for him. Now, he did a double scan, so I don't know what he was looking for here, because a lot of times Zerg players put their Hydra Den at opposite places of the Spire because they want you to scan all locations. But I guess he knows SquaLL better than I do. Maybe SquaLL puts all of his tech in one spot. But regardless, saw nothing that time around. And meanwhile, SquaLL has decided that he's going to take mid-left. And I think this is a sneaky play. You can always take another main, but to take mid-left, you've got that tiny choke. So you put 2 lurkers there also kind of just like on a ramp. And all of a sudden, Terran can't get in there either. And also, if you defend this area, you defend drops from your natural. So I think this is a pretty good 3rd base to take. Meanwhile, Muta's coming over, and can he get any damage done?
We shall see what SquaLL has in store here. Can he get some snipes at least on a couple SCVs or pick this Bioforce? Because he's going to have to use these, a little defensively at some point. Because I'm imagining Terror on 4 racks plus 1 is going to want to put some pressure on that 3rd if he can right away.
Well, I gotta say that I actually really like SquaLL's position. And the reason I say that is looking at Terror's Nat, there were 8 SCVs there. That's it, just 8. So if he loses any to harassment, all of a sudden his eco is just absolutely obliterated. So Terror either needs to transfer some more SCVs down there or make sure that he doesn't lose any of them. But this move out is a really good move from Terror because he's making it weird for SquaLL. Like, okay, I know you have Marine Medic, but where are they, man? He's sharking around trying to keep eyes on them, and he finds them, but the Mutas don't fire, and he gets a kill for free.
Yeah, that's tough right there. Not being able to pick off at least 1 Marine when that guy was trailing way behind. You thought he'd get that guy, but no fire from the Muta, so we go back to the dance that they will do.
What I'm seeing here from SquaLL is exactly what he did versus me on the ladder, which is just Ling and Muta for so long. And at some point, we're going to see armor on these Mutas, 100%. Every single game I played versus him, he went for armor. And that's a lot of Lings on the right side of the map, too. So if he can find this army, I think he could collapse on it, because this is a split army. This is half and half. You do not ever want this scenario to happen for you as Terran. But look at the focus fire. How do those Marines get so many Muta kills? He got 4 Muta kills, and now the other half's on the left side looking to bust that 3rd base.
He's scanning all over looking for it. He sees it, but here come the units in from SquaLL. Does he have enough here to just clean up this force?
There's not enough Lings. There's still just barely enough Mutas, but he took, again, a lot of losses on his Mutas, and it hit right before either the +1 weapon or +1 upgrade or +1 armor upgrade for SquaLL. So that was another good trade for Terror. We haven't seen what he's scanned, but in the main of SquaLL, if he even has a Hydra Den, he just now put it down. Yeah, he just now started. So this is still just Muta Ling Man versus 4 racks, heavy Marine production. I mean, Mutaling generally doesn't beat this.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be careful with some of these engagements. They've been a little bit favored towards TerrOr when I thought SquaLL was going to crush that first Bioforce, but TerrOr was able to pick off like 3-4 Mutalisks, even with that low number of Marines.
Well, despite the losses in the center of the map, supplies are still even for both sides, so Zerg has done a good job to keep his supply up, but most of the supply is in Mutas, and at this point, unless you're going for Hydra Guardian, do you really want a Muta count this high? Vessels are going to start moving out, but again, TerrOr with a small army moving out. I mean, this every time I watch this happen and get flashbacks to my own games, watching one group of Marine Medic just get overwhelmed by Ling Muta, but so far, he really hasn't been punished that much. I see a dropship has come out, and there is absolutely no vision at all on the entire right side of the map, and even at the very top side of the map, there's no vision. So a single drop comboed with move out in the center of the map could be devastating.
Yeah, TerrOr's gonna try to get something in here because he delayed that vessel though for this drop, so he's gonna want to try to get as much possible damage as he can with that thing. I like that he's pulling the Muta down with his Bioforce, kind of moving them out, just stim it up, pushing forward, like, hey, I want to attack your third, I want to attack your third. Just kidding, dropping behind you in your main.
Yeah, and oh, something must have tipped him off. Nope, I thought those skirts were going to the top side, but I don't know. This drop or this move out is just forcing so many units out of position. There's no way TerrOr can bust mid left. There's Sunken's already set up. But like I said, this is what he does. Just like with that Wraith last game, pushing Zerg out, or pushing the Overlord out of vision allows this drop to get in. But there's so many Mutas left over. This just being a single drop feels like the Mutas should just slam this.
Oh, at the same time, we're busting into the third. Here we go.
Whoa.
We're going in. Sunken's and Lurker Eggs. We're going for it now. 1A, 2A, 3A. I love it.
Well, that was definitely backfiring for TerrOr. That single drop was not enough to make Zerg super scared. Re-engages the army at the left side with his just leftover units and crushes it. And again, we've still got even supply from both sides, but Zerg has a third base. And also, TerrOr was only on one starport, so the vessel count, what was that, 2? I mean, we're not facing 5, 6, 7, 8 vessels. Zerg is not scared of 2 vessels at this point.
Yeah, and like I said, he delayed that first vessel for that dropship and really didn't get much. He got a couple drones, but that's about it. And he lost 2 big groups of bio in the middle. Oop, Radiates go down the Lurkers, picking off a couple.
He's going to get 2 of them. I saw those Radiates go off, and I was like, uh-oh, we're about to watch 11 Mutalisks die. But going on to the Lurkers takes the minimum amount of damage there. We've got Nidus coming up, so that's great for SquaLL. Going to make it so much easier for him to save that base. Don't know the timing of that evolution chamber, but that was an Ultralisk cavern. But regardless, TerrOr's going to be up. Upgrades, I think at least +2 versus +1. He may even be up +2 versus +0 at some point. So if SquaLL goes into Ultras too quickly, that could backfire real fast. Now, that is, I don't think that was a command center at the bottom side of TerrOr's base, but it could be. Oh, it is a command center, so he is taking a relatively fast third base.
Yeah, we just see SquaLL taking his 4th, that is like his natural 4th. Filer's finally on the field, so he'll be able to protect these bases, get that Cheetos dust out there, and can live forever.
Well, this is another big move out from TerrOr. He really wants this third base. There's 3 Lurkers stacked up there, though. So not going to be able to plow through that, at least not for several seconds. 4 vessels, that's a lot of irradiates, though, but I see that a Filer is consuming those links. He's going to have Dark Swarm in just a second. But that's an open 4th base. TerrOr doesn't know about it, though, so for now, it is safe.
While positioning on both sides, looking like he may want to try and surround this Bioforce here, but I think he's probably better off letting it, if TerrOr wants to attack in and attack into the Sunken, Spore, Lurker, Defiler, I think he's better off just engaging there and just letting it float around a bit.
Okay, he gets off the Dark Swarm. I think only 1 irradiate went off, so that's pretty good. He pushes it back with just a single Spore, limits the amount of damage he can. But 100 supply versus 130, I mean, if I was Terran, I would feel really bad about that situation. And the Lynx spotted the dropship but he didn't see it actually. So we've got 2 drops going to the top side, and again, there is no defense, no Scourge, no anything.
Yeah, and I only saw one Defiler out there. Haven't seen a second one or him remake the one Defiler that he lost. He's gonna need that to be able to hold this Bio Force that's in the middle of the map as well. That's been lurking at this third nonstop.
Yeah, and really good play with the Overlord sitting on top of the Lurkers. I can't tell you how annoying that is, but TerrOr, okay, he thought that they moved. No, actually, again, it was just trying to draw the attention away of that drop into the main. And look, there's no reaction from SquaLL yet. He's still looking at the Irradiates at the left side, and he's gotten into the sweet spot. The buildings block a lot of the surface area. The Overlord killed a ton of drones, so this is starting to really snowball for TerrOr now.
Yeah, that Overlord erased a lot of his own drones. Unfortunate there that it went back that way. And this is just a tough spot here for Zerg to be able to get back into their main and swarm over this Bioforce here, killing a ton of stuff.
Look at the lanes, they just get mowed down. I don't think a single Zergling got off any hits. That's because TerrOr has 2 upgrades versus +0 armor. The spawning pool also died. So what is SquaLL gonna actually build? An Ultra?
One hero Ultra must go in. Oh, and he busts this base here. Nyoken is going to get the Nidus. There's no units above in the base. Oh, and there's the GG from SquaLL. Wow.
TerrOr, man, he's everywhere. He just picks you apart. He knows. He thinks about it from his own perspective. Like, if I'm getting attacked, I'm going to be focusing on that one area. But he's attacking you in another area and then also attacking you at the 4th base. Literally everywhere.
Yeah, and making it look like he's going in, right? Like irradiating the Overlord, irradiating Lurker, stemming the bio and going in. So you have to take attention and you have to pull units. And while you're doing that, there's 2 dropships just flying into the back of your base, looking to just give the killing blow from somewhere else. So really well played by TerrOr there.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is if you're a Zerg fan, you're looking at that situation, you've got 4 base Zerg. Supplies are pretty close. That's like a dream scenario for you. You didn't take really much damage to any of the move outs. You're thinking, yeah, maybe I don't got this game, but I'm in a good position. And then for it to just all fall apart in literally 30 seconds, it's heartbreaking. But this does set us up for our winners match, which is Zhanhun versus TerrOr. I think everybody wanted to see this match. So we're going to be going into a break, and then we'll come back and find out who's going to make it out in first place of our final group in the round of 32. back, everybody, and we're about to get into the match of the day, I would say. TerrOr versus Zhanhun, a TVP, and we're going to be on Powerbomb as our first matchup. But first, Blizzardo and Mono MM, don't think that we forgot about your donation. Huge donations earlier in the series. We just missed them because the games were so epic so far. Thank you so much for supporting the BSL. And I don't see the BSL progress bar, but I think that puts us around the $1,500 mark. So thank you so much for supporting the BSL.
And we really appreciate all the donations throughout the day. Thank you. Keep them coming in. Keep us going. Let's hit that goal for BSL 17.
I want to see BSL 17 because every season it gets better and better. We've got a lot of good players. We've got a champion going up against somebody else that could be the new champion of the season, Zhanhun. I mean, this guy, I think his best matchup could be PvP, but if you've watched him in previous seasons, what kills him every single time? It's always Mihu's 4-fact style. So I think if we see TerrOr play something like his 1-fact starport into a timing, I think TerrOr could actually knock him down.
Yeah, TerrOr has some tricky builds, TBP, where he just gets himself a little ahead and is not afraid to throw down 5-6 facts and just go for it. I hit your eco, now I'm just going to run you over. The +1 timing. So I think that definitely could work here. You know, if TerrOr can get into that position, I think he can seal the deal. But if you draw some of these game outs, you got to be careful because Zhanhun, his macro in past seasons PVT has been crazy.
Yeah, he's got really good macro. I'm not sure if he's still Shuttle Man. You know, last season I played Zhanhun on Butter, and it was non-stop Gateway Man with shuttles. I think Protoss players have a lot of the time transitioned more into Carrier Man these days. But if it is Shuttle Man, we could have a slugfest because, like you said, TerrOr will flood factories, and we could have toe-to-toe Gateway Man versus Factory Man. I really do want to see the starport into flood of factories, because I actually think that's TerrOr's best build. I think every time I've seen him do it, he's won. So I'm really hoping, whether it's game 1, game 2, or game 3, we at least get to see it one time.
Yeah, I think that's one of his bread and butter builds, right? So I would imagine he'd want to pull that out so that he can get his strongest builds out there and just do what he can because he knows what he's up against. Sometimes trying to play on these games and just go with a 3-base and sit plays right into the hands of someone like Zhanhun, who's okay to sit there and macro himself and make shuttles and fly them everywhere and just kind of slide them into you and then remacro. So I would definitely love to see TerrOr make the game a little more choppy with some drops and things like that. That'd be, I think, in his best interest.
Yeah, and with it being Powerbomb, base layouts are huge. I mean, you have so many angles to drop, and also you've got 10 mineral patches. So if TerrOr is somebody that goes into like a 6-fact, for example, all of a sudden maybe that extra mineral patch allows him to go into 7 factories. So our players are ready. Let's get into game 1 between Zhanhun and TerrOr. And in the top left, 14cc lover, it is TerrOr.
And in top right, it is Zhanhun 123. Love that addition to the name.
Yeah, that's gonna. He got, what did he get the first season of BSL? Did he get 3rd? I don't know, but maybe maybe this time, season 3, he's gonna get 1st place. Maybe this is his time to shine. But we've got horizontal spawns here. I would say this is not exactly the greatest spawn for drop play if you're TerrOr, but this is really good spawns for drop play for Zhanhun. And I do know that he likes to go Reaver Opener, so I'm sure we'll see that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of surface area, like you said, on these bases to get those drops in. And the other thing that benefits Protoss on this map is it's very far for the Terran to try to take that 3rd gas with a lot of surface area to cover. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, we were talking about this during the break. What's the turn rate going to be? It's Peru to Europe to China. I would say turn rate 14 high with all that going on. Not the worst. I was expecting it to be something like turn rate 10. But Zhanhun looks like he's going to drop here. Something going on with his VPN, I guess.
Let's go TerrOr.
Might have cut out. We got the TerrOr donation train started. A lot of support for TerrOr out there.
Yeah, everybody loves TerrOr. TerrOr does every does very well every single season. He always participates in BSL also, and he won, man. Like, think of how many Terran players we had winning BSL before Miku showed up. What was it, Dandy? And that's it. I can't think of really anybody else that won that's Terran.
Well, I'm assuming here that Zhanhun had some issues with his VPN trying to get it up, so we will just restart from there. But yeah, turn rate 14 high. I mean, it could be way worse. We've all sat in those ladder games where it's like turn rate 8 high, and you're like, all right, do I even want to play this game? So turn 14, not the worst. We can make that work.
Playable.
It's playable.
Yeah, it's playable.
It's playable.
I'm probably still insta-leaving, but in the ladder game, but I could see it being playable in a tournament. But I would say that that's a bit unfortunate for Zhanhun because I think he got the good spawn for himself relative to where TerrOr spawned. I would be curious to see if we actually see Zhanhun's spawn top right again, and then TerrOr gets lucky, spawns bottom right.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's we're gonna redraw it here. Unfortunate, but gonna have to get it done.
Well, hopefully
really
he gets the VPN fixed.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what style he's gonna go with here, though. If he's gonna go to drop style, or because the turn rate he just goes for a gateway man that he also likes.
Well, what's meta for Protoss versus PvT? Because when I played Zhanhun last season, it was like, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this on the ladder every single game with gateway man and shuttles.
Yeah, I mean, still a lot of players are still playing the shuttle style with the Reaver. We've been seeing a lot of 1921 Nexus into 2-gate Reaver, push the army back, then macro up, and either go for a timing bust or go for the carrier. So I think that's still pretty meta right now.
Okay, so probably just going to see similar if the meta is still the same, and we just got the word that we're ready. So let's try it again. TerrOr versus Zhanhun on Power Bomb. Oh, look at that. I can't believe it.
Do you know?
Spawn.
Unbelievable.
I've always
never left.
Yeah, like we never left. And look at that, the pylon placement is even in the same spot. But I've always thought about this, like, if somebody drops, should you force the game to be remade until you get the same spawns again? Because sometimes spawns really do make a difference. Like, for example, you guys out there that watch Artosa's stream, he says top middle for Terran is unplayable. Terran versus Zerg, right? So if he was to spawn top middle, and then the game DCs, and he gets bottom left, for example, which I think is the best, should you force the remake over and over until they get the same spawns again? I mean, it feels kind of unfair if you don't get the same spawns, you know what I mean?
I do. I definitely understand that, and that's definitely a good consideration because you're right. Your spawning can affect the build you're going to open with. I know for Protoss, at least in PvZ, some bases lend themselves to only a forge opener versus being able to do a gateway because of how big the entrance may be and the difference of the way that the natural's placed. So I could definitely see that coming into effect somewhere.
Well, not an issue this time around. We've got same spawns, and we've got normal openers so far from both sides. I actually think TerrOr 11 gassed here. This gas feels a little faster than normal, but maybe not. I'm now looking at the game timer. It looks like it's going to line up with... No, actually, this does look slightly faster. I really do think this was an 11 gas, but I didn't catch it exactly. Meanwhile, Zhanhun, he did not build a Zealot, I don't think. They're not going to have any early aggressive play from him. Meanwhile, that is a 226 factory from TerrOr, so yes, this was an 11 gas.
Yeah, and we see the delayed scout here from Zhanhun, which tells me most likely going to be a 21 Nexus play here. Usually if you want to do a 19 Nexus, you don't scout at all until the Nexus timing is up. So he sends the scout after that second pylon, so I think that's what we're going to see pretty soon from him. Here he goes, chase it down. Nope, not going to chase it down. Thought he might try to snipe it right away.
Yep, probes didn't come in here. Not really going to get any intel. Second Marine pops out at the right time. Okay, actually, that probe dies. And just like in the SquaLL game, you cannot lose your first probe. And that's exactly why. Because we've got Proxy Factory at mid-right.
Oh, man. pulling out all the crazy punches here. Look at this. Proxy factory, and I like it. He didn't get into the main. He just might assume, oh, yeah, I see the Marines. It's just going to be a one fact. Not against TerrOr. Can't assume anything. Have to see it. Have to confirm.
Okay, well, we've got 2-fact man versus a Terran player that is cutting everything for this. This is going to be a lot of Marines. Tank Vulture. Wow. It's going to be mine upgrade. And what is this? He knows that this guy plays aggro, so he goes one base, gate robo. What?
I don't know what to say here, Nyoken. This is definitely not something we see very often anymore in PvT. Usually we used to see it back in the day, maybe 10 years ago. You'd get the robo to harass the main and then take your Nexus, but I don't know. Maybe Zhanhun feels something's up. Why are these Marines out here by themselves? Why is there no bunker? Like, why are you sitting out and so far in front of your natural? So he may sense something is up. I'm not sure. His spidey senses are tingling, but it's going to get interesting because if he goes Robo Reaver right away, he might just hold this 2-fac. 2-gate observer. He knows, Nyoken. He knows.
This can't be a better counter. This cannot be a better counter for Zhanhun. Like, if he doesn't hold this, there's literally nothing else he could have done to hold. Maybe he just blindly goes Reaver, but that would be crazy talk. So he's got 4 goons versus 4 Marines, a single tank, but there's going to be like 3 or 4 vultures. However, 4 goons is the magic number to 1 or 2 shot everything, but he needed to have these goons out on the map, not right outside of his natural, because hello, here I am, vultures already setting up mines. Observer, when is it going to pop out? He's already sniped one of the vultures, that's great, but he's pushed back all the way to his main.
Wow, great micro here from him. I would be concerned if he didn't. Oh, gotta watch that. Snipes it anyway, no problem. I would have been concerned if he didn't have the observer. Like, how does he get down the ramp with the mines? But he's got the observer. He can just sit here and micro. And TerrOr cut a ton of SCVs to get this push going. So he just has to hold here.
Yeah, and this is a weird spot because as Terran, are you really pushing up a ramp into 5 goons? Like, you're not, right? Okay, now that's a big hit with the siege, but the mine explodes, kills all the supporting units, and this push is over with. And like you said, there's been no SCV production, and already TerrOr's down 15, soon to be 20 supply.
Wow, and he just crushes that and throws the Nexus down right in front of the Vulture. He knows that he is in a fantastic position now. He could just keep producing goons out of these 2. Oh, we're going to add a 3rd gateway here, and he's just going to produce a ton of units, keep his probes going. Wow, man. What a hold.
Yeah, and he made it look easy, too. I was worried for him because he didn't have the goons out. Like, when the push is at your doorstep, how are you going to kill the units? Like, it's just so hard. Like, you're not getting any damage done. None of the Marines are softened up. None of the Vultures are softened up. And the observer comes in and sees, oh, hey, you're not building a command center, so I literally just have to hold now, and I'm going to win this game. And TerrOr, he knows that he can't transition, so he's putting down a 2nd add-on. He's going to try and just push through, probably with 5 tanks. But look at that. That's a Terran versus Terran. Try and contain you with 1 or 2 tanks. I mean, Protoss could literally send a Zealot and probably kill all of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure having these tanks just siege in the middle of the map is going to really help him. The Dragoon count is so high. I guess the plan is to try to just contain, hold, and maybe Protoss will throw units into him, but Zhanhun sees everything. The observers are out, they're scouting, they see all his entire unit count, and he doesn't need to go Nyoken. He doesn't need to engage these units here in the middle of the map. He can just keep sitting and just making probes. Even just get a Reaver at this point. 4-gate with a Reaver and just send the Reaver in the main and hold the front with the goons, and he's fine. So he can just wait it out.
Yeah, single shuttle with Zealot ends this game. Just 100%. And it will end all pushes. What's Terran going to do? Are they going to push with turrets? I don't think so. There's also only 1 Marine there. And look at the goon count. There's, what, 12 at least now? So, like I said, okay, there's the Zealot. We just need the shuttle. Literally, I don't think he even needs the shuttle, but here we go. 12 goons versus 3 vultures, 4 tanks. It's a lot of DPS with the tanks, But the problem is, it's just nothing to buffer for them.
Wow. Just pushes it back. He's going to chase these tanks down, and that should be it.
Easy.
Wow.
Destruction. This is how you take down TerrOr, is you just have the perfect counter with the one base robo 2-gate, and he made it look so easy. And it's not easy to stop a 2-fact, even if you know it's coming.
It is not, and I just don't know what triggered him to say, hey, this is a 2-fact, something's weird. I don't know if it was the Marine count at the beginning, how it was there, or how far pushed up they were, but he read that incredibly well, and just awesome counter with the build. So well done from Zhanhun.
Yeah, like you said, there was no bunker in the beginning, but honestly, because Protoss didn't have vision for a long time, a lot of times you see Terrans build a vulture, and then you have to keep a second goon back. Like, just because there's no bunker doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means that you have enough with the 3 Marines to stop 1 goon. So it was really good sense from Zhanhun, and now he is 1 game away. And I gotta say, all the maps are pretty darn good for Protoss. I don't think I have any map that I think is as good as Powerbomb, because Powerbomb with 10 mineral patches as Terran, all of a sudden all your 2-base play is insane, and we know TerrOr in particular is good with it. So I really like Zhanhun's chances now to just 2-0 him.
Yeah, well, Nyoken, you know that there's no good Terran map out there, so...
Yeah.
Ortosis has
They
told
just
us,
don't exist.
no, they don't exist, so... just not there. So, unfortunate that Terra's got to pick a map in BroodWar to play on right now, because no Terran favored maps here.
Well,
so what do you go with? Do you go with something like Sylphid?
I think it's Circuit Breakers.
Circuit Breaker?
Even though even though I like Vermeer and it's a ladder map, I just had such good success on Circuit Breakers whenever I played it. I think it's fantastic. I think anytime I can pick Circuit Breakers, I'm probably picking it. So unless Zhanhun bans it here, I think we're going to see Circuit Breakers.
Well, Circuit Breaker, you also can roll the dice right and get those horizontal spawns, and you can, as Terran, just push through the bottom or top side of the map, and it's just so hard for Protoss to engage you. It's just so difficult. So maybe that is something he goes for, and that's what he figures. All right, if I can get it done here. It's also very open. TerrOr likes to get those volts everywhere. He's got good multitask, so maybe that's something he'll go with as well. But we shall see.
Well, now that I'm thinking about the maps a little bit more, if TerrOr feels like he can defend Reavers decently, which obviously we know he can, Sylphid's a good map. But okay, Vermeer. I mean, this is the modern Circuit Breakers. You've got 3 gas. You've actually got 4 gas instantly. I mean, if you think about how far TerrOr has to move to actually get 4 gas, I mean, not very far. So not surprised here. Let's get into game 2. We've got Zhanhun up 1-0 versus TerrOr. So, in the top left, 1 game away, it is Zhanhun.
And in the bottom left, it is TerrOr.
And I saw in that game lobby, even though we have the blue and red colors shift-tabbed, TerrOr picked his patented magenta right there, as you can see. So he's channeling all of his strength right now, trying to get that win.
He knows the power of the pink Terran.
Indeed he does. So we've got vertical spawns. You were talking about the horizontal push on Circuit Breakers. Is there anything similar to that in Vermeer, or do you think that's not really
I don't think it's as strong, because of if you can set up a little bit on the ramps that are there in the middle a little bit. The terrain is a little bit more open as they come through, so I don't think it's as prevalent when you're playing on this map. I think this is a little more standard. You also really can't build much terrain in front of these bases, so it makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, when I first started playing Vermeer, I think one of the first few games was versus Boa, and I found out real quick, oh, you can't build turrets here. And then the game ended because Boa always goes for his 11-minute bust. So definitely something to consider if TerrOr ever moves towards the 3rd or 4th base. We do have Gateway Opener, of course, from Zhanhun, no 12 Nexus, gas coming down. Meanwhile, paying close attention to that gas timing from TerrOr. Don't see a fast gas from him just yet.
Maybe
All
he'll go
gas?
for gasless here.
Could be gasless, yeah. So it
Listen,
is going to be gasless from him, and he is unfortunately probably going to last scout Zhanhun. But gasless, I know TerrOr loves this build. He's really good at it, not just in TVP, but also in Terran versus Terran. He pulls it out quite a lot, and we were talking about how strong his 2-base play is. Gasless can really allow you to ramp up into a 2-base real fast. So we may actually get to see that 6 or 7 fact timing that I was talking about.
Yeah, and I think gasless is extremely strong now because of all these delayed scouting patterns that Protoss are doing, so they can get their Nexus down faster. So if you can get that CC down really quick and Protoss doesn't know it's there, I say that, and Zhanhun is moving. Oh, looks like he's going for a cross scout. Never mind, going to top right. I was going to say that if you can get the CC down fast and Protoss doesn't, pressure you right away because they delay range, they delay certain stuff to get that Nexus down quicker, you're in a good spot as Terran at least. You're getting that CC down way faster than Protoss is getting the Nexus down.
Oh yeah, especially if they delay range, then all of a sudden you don't even have to worry about repairing your bunker. I mean, it would be a dream scenario, but scratch that because range is coming down unless it's some type of fake. But Zhanhun doesn't strike me as somebody that does fakes often. I don't think I've ever seen him try and be super tricky with the build. So seeing the range, TerrOr's probably pretty confident that this is just a standard opener, and luckily for him, he still has not been scouted, so he's been able to just continue to build SCVs, didn't have to rush a bunker, didn't really have to do much, and just now taking his gas. But is this just going to be a single goon expand from Zhanhun? Maybe 2 goons.
Yep. He's not scouting out with the first Dragoon, so it just might be 1 in the Nexus, like just a standard 21 Nexus here. We'll see if he decides to follow it up with the second gateway or if he's going to go robo. He should see this being gasless and seeing that the CC's down and the bunker's up. If he does, he'll probably put a robo down right away. That's definitely the style you want to play, but ooh, he doesn't know, man, and he doesn't know. He keeps saying it.
The one different thing is, I guess if TerrOr really wants to ultra mind game, he needs to not put that Rax there, because I think the Rax is a tell, is that this was gasless. Because also all probe has to do is sit there and see if the Marine or if the Rax is building stuff. And if it's never building, well, are you really going to be pushing with a 2-fact and no Marines? Probably unlikely. So he should know this was gasless, and Goon is going to intercept that SCV. SCV will see the Nexus, and I was going to say nothing else, but he might actually get into the main. Oh, a missed shot!
That's unfortunate, Nyoken. The missed chance happens, but Dragoon is 90% missed chance. It feels like when they're shooting up a ramp, they never hit things. It's unbelievable.
I know. I watch Flash's SCVs. They always bounce in the right spot when he's building a depot. Never gets hit going up a ramp. TerrOr definitely had the power of Flash flowing through him to get that full scout off, but he didn't see anything unusual, and he was going for an eBay follow-up anyways, so it's not like he has to deviate or would have had to deviate his build anyways. And we do have 2-fact follow-up from him. Upgrade going down. This should be for Siege, but I've seen players like Light just build a single tank and still go into Vultures, but I feel like that would be a bit ambitious, but we'll see if he actually wants to go Siege or not.
Yeah, I feel it's becoming more and more common there, Nyoken, that like Vulture pressure, like get speed really fast, have the one tank repair and just catch the Protoss with all their Dragoons forward. I know I've definitely hit that a couple times myself, and it could be deadly, man. If you have all your goons here pressing the front, and the Vultures run by, you're like, oh no, I got one, yeah. I got one Dragoon at home, and this is it. My poor probes are gone.
Yeah, and Vermeer has those eggs where I don't think it creates a full wall with all the depots, but you can see Zhanhun, he's already created almost the full wall in case that is the case. Siege is complete, so I think this is just the safe move from TerrOr, and he does show Siege, and that should trigger Zhanhun to go for an instant 3rd Nexus, because Siege is a pretty expensive upgrade at this point in the game. Also affects how many units you're building, obviously. And we do have Reaver drop coming in just a second.
Yeah, and we see that, like you said, he puts the 3rd Nexus down right away. Definitely a good play here from Zhanhun. He knows that TerrOr is going to be sitting back and be a little bit passive for now. I wonder if we'll see some kind of timing move out here from TerrOr with this 2-fac. Will he just continue tank production for a little bit, maybe try to do some sort of like 6-tank, 8-tank move out timing? Maybe he can catch Zhanhun sleeping.
Yeah, I think we could see that, and I think we are going to see a factory flood. And the reason I say that is the armory just started at 6:30. That's a pretty late armory, and a single turret pushes this back. But the late armory signals that we're not really going to have a 2+2 timing unless you're going for something like a 13:30, 14-minute max, which is not really ideal for Terran these days, because 14 minutes, I mean, that's just so much time to Protoss. So I think we may see a +1 timing from TerrOr. Meanwhile, Shuttle still trying to find an opening, but he's just locked in. There's nowhere that he can actually get through.
Yeah, he's going to have to use these Reavers defensively and just kind of push it back. And I think this is exactly what I expected to see, where he's going to add 2 more gateways, continue production, probably take a 4th, or he's going to have to do the double observer in and see if it is a factory flood. Oh, observer down. TerrOr is not letting him in, so he may have to. He may have to put his gateway count even higher, quicker, because he probably should be signaling like there's probably factories behind this. Like, why is this Terran blocking so much? Like every little piece, like, hey, get observer in.
Oh, ooh, that was good. Reaver knocks down the bunker.
Oh!
Oh, but he loses the Reaver. Now that's a really good catch for TerrOr, and that means that Zhanhun's probably going to need to build another Reaver to make sure that he can stop a push, because pushes are quite deadly if there's no Reaver support, and this is going to be factories, like I said. Oh no, it is just going to be 4, so it's going to be 4 in an expansion. But like you said, there's not that much area to build turrets, so this is still kind of a dangerous position for TerrOr to just sit.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought we were going to see some of that pressure, like you were saying, like me who likes that 4-fac, high pressure, high units. I thought we were going to see some of that from TerrOr here, especially after he picked off the Reaver, but I guess that just made him more comfortable to want to try to take and hold his 3rd.
And this is a lot of turrets being built. I mean, he did go gasless, so, you know, he can use that extra eco that he wouldn't have had going with a 12 gas. But building 1 billion turrets, you're not feeling that great as Terran building so much static D. But another bunker going up. I mean, I like the bunker. Bunkers are just so strong versus Protoss. He's going to catch an observer. Shuttle's got to be careful because it's flying right over a turret, and already it loses almost all of its shields.
Yeah, the tricky part I feel like for Terran here is, I mean, you can get a pretty good setup and get a tank on the high ground and stuff like that, but if Protoss can break that first couple lines of tanks, they can just pick off the Nexus from afar with Dragoons. Like, they don't have to be flooding all the way. So if he can kill those first, like, 5, 6, he's okay. But, I mean, I don't even know if it's worth for Protoss to attack into this. He probably should be looking just to push into a 4th and a 5th base right away and play into more of a macro game, because this is a very well-defended spot from TerrOr right now. I mean, the bunker, the turrets, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, actually, Zhanhun, I think, is really misstepped here. We see the Citadel. It's just now completing at 10 minutes. I mean, that's extremely late. Arbiter is going to be really late. I guess the only thing that really necessarily wouldn't be that late is Templars and Shuttles, so I imagine that's got to be what he's going for. He also confirmed pretty much that there's going to be a 3rd base here when he saw the turret, so I think he needs to start building more bases, whether it's top middle or top right, really flooding that gateway count and get his tech going, because TerrOr's not going to be attacking for 3 or 4 minutes, so it should give Zhanhun time to really get solid eco, and you know, that dangerous 15 gateways or so that Terrans really hate. But right now, he only has, what was it, 7? And TerrOr scans that 11 or 1030 Templar Archive. If TerrOr's really on his game, he should know that this has to be Gateway Man plus Storm. It can't be anything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, he should know that this, we have the 3 turrets, we're not going to be able to fly over these, and we're going to get hit by that turret right there. So this could be an absolute mistake here from Zhanhun. I don't think he's going to get any of these shuttles in.
He unloads a Reaver and a Zealot, but look at that mine placement. Maybe he takes down the 2 Templar. Oh, he takes down both turrets, but goodbye Reaver. That was definitely not worth it. Look at the supplies. It's 110 to 135 supply. And Zhanhun, yes, he has 3 bases, but it's not, you know, this is not scary from Terran's point of view. I'm even in bases, I'm even in upgrades, and you just have gateways, no tech? If I'm
Yeah,
Terran, I'm thinking, thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised we just didn't even trigger maybe a little bit of a move out or some pressure there from TerrOr to take a fourth, because that was 2 shuttles. That was a Reaver and a minimum 6 Zealots. It could have even been 2 Reavers in there. That's a lot of units just to throw away into turrets.
Yeah, and there is the factory flood. That is 9 factories. So we are just exploding in terms of production. And that 120 supply is going to shoot up to 200 real fast. And this would line up with his armory timing. I was talking about how 13, 30, 14 minutes is a 2-1 timing with that armory timing that we saw at the natural. And that looks like exactly what Terra's going for.
Yeah, and Zhanhun needed to take, like you said, that top right and get gateways down, and it is denied again by these vultures. So TerrOr, like you said, should feel pretty good. The fourth just finished for Protoss. He does not have top right. He doesn't have gateways up there. There is no like end game tech here unless it's going to be just Shuttle Man with storms. So he should be feeling pretty good.
And Zhanhun is in real trouble. He's losing probes now. Also, Terra's, even though he doesn't have mines out on the map right now, he's by far the best Terran at laying down mines in the foreign scene. So once he actually starts getting more vultures, you're going to see a lot of mines everywhere. Also, when he pushes, he's very, very diligent with his pushes. I think I've rarely seen him ever get caught, like out of siege, out of position. So Zhanhun, he's going to need a miracle. And also, we were talking about the horizontal push on circuit breakers. If we've now got the vertical push where he can sit on that high ground right there, and that's just going to be a nightmare for Protoss to engage into.
Yeah, and we see more Templar getting picked off, and you know, now you can talk about the meta. This is something I've been seeing more and more. These Reavers going into late game. Like, you're getting 15, 16 minute shuttles with Reavers in them still trying to fight. Oh. Oh!
Wait, he didn't get the storm off. Does he have storm?
Oh, man.
It's not a replay, so we don't even know if he has storm. I imagine he must have had storm, but sometimes you think you have it and you actually don't. Now I'm very worried because he did have time to actually cast it, but he didn't cast it.
Yeah, I think maybe he clicked an SUV that TerrOr pulled, so it was out of range for him to storm, and he couldn't re-click it again. They died too fast. Either that or he doesn't have storm, and he's kicking himself right now, saying, "What am I doing?" Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, the
probe
push is
transfer.
coming.
Probe transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, he sees it.
The drop just barely gets through. Luckily, there's 2 goons, but this looks like the SquaLL game, right? Drop comes in. Meanwhile, you're going to have to deal with that, but there's going to be a huge attack into the natural. Look at it instantly. He notices that you notice the drop. I'm pushing. That's what he does.
Wow. Good move out timing here again. And here we go. Going to pick off that Templar right away, and he's going to take control of that very important high ground, like you said there, Nyoken. This is going to get tricky here for Zhanhun. And we see that Terra's now taking the supply lead. And oh no! He's only fighting with half his army. That storm is a miss.
Oh my god, the storm!
That one is not a miss. Oh.
But look at Zhanhun's supply, it's still so low, but those storms were critical. That softened up the majority of the tanks. There's actually only a decent amount of support for the tanks now, but those goons, they got hit by mines, I think. And now, look at Zhanhun's army. It's pure goon at this point. He used up all of his zealots, and this is what TerrOr does. Like I said, he draws you out of position, pushes, and now he's at the natural, which also breaches the third base, and he cuts off production. Zhanhun's just going to be reset back into just 2 base mining because the main, I'm sure, is mined out by now.
Oh man, and our rally is just running out into the middle here, trying to get anything done with these zealots and these goons, but I think TerrOr has done it now. He is here sitting unless these shuttles get some crazy drops. And there's that late game Reaver trying to help out. Good shot from it there. Oh my goodness.
Good control. Really good control. That Reaver's still alive, so he can get off some more. Well, even just one can be a difference maker. But TerrOr relentless with his reinforcements. He's almost double supply now, 157 to 94. There's just nothing to support these zealots. He's got a decent amount of gateways. What is it? Maybe like 12? But he needs just flat out more stuff. He doesn't have it, and that's it. GG.
Wow. TerrOr has done it. Well played from him there, Nyoken.
Yeah, we saw the late tech, like I said, and Terran's not afraid of carriers anymore, not afraid of arbiters, and then losing those 3 shuttles that did no damage, that's a big loss. But again, the drop, perfect, draws so much stuff out of position, and he's not somebody that's slow. Like, he can multitask, and you saw him insta-push. Instantly, he's at the natural.
Yeah, once those goons went to the top there, he's like, all right, here we go. We're on the move. We might as well catch him while he doesn't have 12, 15 goons. I mean, that's a huge chunk of the army. And we saw Zhanhun was forced to fight with the Storm and the Elves by themselves. I mean, that's just not enough. I mean, he got probably the best possible Storm down that second one that he could to make all those tanks hurt, unless he doubled it up. So, I mean, the best he could with what he had, but it just wasn't enough this game. Terror just ran him on over.
Yeah, it was literally the dream storm, like you said. And Terra's very diligent with his sieging and tanks and positioning. That was one of the few times you saw him got caught, so it literally couldn't have gone better. But really nicely done from Terra. He ties up the score. Now it is going to be Zhanhun's map pick. I think if I'm Zhanhun, I think Circuit Breakers is fine, but I want to make it weird. I want to go Butter, or I want to go Nemesis, or Odyssey, one of those 3.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I couldn't imagine him not. I would imagine Terra's probably going to ban Butter, just because he doesn't want to deal with probably the gas deal and the craziness that these Chinese protests like to bring in. The 9 gate in your base or the 7-7 in your base, and you're like, oh my goodness, why is there a zealot out? My barracks isn't done. But yeah, I think that'd be a good choice for John. I think he should pick maybe Butter or Odyssey. I think those are 2 really good choices.
Yeah, I would think I would probably go for Nemesis if I'm Zhanhun. I think that map, it's a ladder map. You got a lot of practice. It's a weird map. Good for Protoss. You've got so much high ground. You go carriers. Tell me how you engage the carriers if they avoid being in the center of the map. I don't know. But Terror, I mean, he can play drops like we said, so it could be an anti-map actually for Zhanhun if Terror's playing drop style. But I would definitely pick one of those 2. But I would not be surprised to see Sylphid or Circuit Breakers because the majority of players love those maps. And it gets to Odyssey. Okay, a weird one.
Yep. I mean, proxy gateways are on the board here. We know the Chinese players love to be super aggressive, super aggro. So he's saying, you know what? Why not? Let's get crazy. Let's get on Odyssey. Maybe he feels that it's a map that Terra hasn't practiced as much. It's not a ladder map like you said. So maybe Zhanhun has something in store here for Terror.
Yeah, I think Terror, with all the clan members he has, probably has some experience on Odyssey for sure, but probably not very much. So I love it from Zhanhun. Let's get into game 3. We've got match point for both sides. Who's going to make it out? Is it going to be another Terran, or is it going to be the 9th Protoss representing BSL16? Okay, in the top right, our blue Protoss player, it is Zhanhun.
And spawning bottom left, it is Terror. All right, let's see if this probe goes out, Nyoken. Is there going to be a probe sent early across this map marching in? I mean, you can't gas steal, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. There's 2 guys in your main. But you could definitely still do a proxy gateway somewhere.
Yeah, I'm curious why he picked this map if you're not getting the gas steal, like I said. I mean, there's no way he's double gas stealing, right? If I see double gas steal, I'm going to get out my chair and just leave the cast. You're going to have to take over because that's just bullying to the next level from Protoss. But there goes that probe. But I think this is just going to be for the forward gate. Oh, no, he is going to... Is it going to gas steal? You can't double gas steal, right?
I don't think you could double gas steal. That's just such a big investment in your minerals. I mean, how do you do double gas steal into Forge Nexus?
Yeah, I know. And versus somebody like Terror, I mean, for all you know, he could already have an SCV out on the map building a barracks, right? Like,
you could be floating and ready.
Yeah, it could be. I think that would be way too risky. But this does look like it's going to be a double gas steal into maybe... Okay, no. It is just a gate. Thank you. Not going to be anything super crazy, but the probe is still going to be annoying.
I think he's doing this partially. Maybe it's a little bit of a mind game here. Now can say, "Oh my!"
Wait, what?
Uh-oh.
There's no way.
Uh-oh.
There's no way.
No
Look
possible
at
way.
Terran's money. Terran has more money. They're gonna have 100 minerals.
So
Okay, I
he
guess.
took the guys with more, so maybe he's forcing Terror onto the guys that only has 1,000, and maybe he'll cancel it once he builds it there.
Well, Terra's just not having any of that. He's just gonna go gasless instead. He's like, hey, I don't care if you steal my gas because I got a second one. So whatever, dude. And I mean, it is an interesting tactic, right? Like, force him to take the bottom gas, which means he mines it out faster. And if you try to get slick and say like, haha, I'm just gonna mine this until the assimilator's gone and then build another one, I mean, that's Terran wasting 100 minerals. But I'm not sure if this was worth. This was a cute move regardless, but the probe now back in the sweet spot. He is going to be safe back there and be able to come back in for a secondary scout whenever he pleases.
Yeah, but I like Zhanhun's response here as well, seeing gasless and stealing that first gas, that he is going to go with his own gas expand. He's going to pump a couple zealots, push some pressure, and then he's going to just take a nexus himself. I think that's definitely a strong thing, but can't leave a Terror SCV down there, Nyoken. Who knows what that thing could be doing? It could be up to just no good.
Yeah, it definitely. Okay, I was like, no. Did he just build a barracks right there? But that is a command center. But there's no Sim City at all. And also, this gas needs to get taken down ASAP because it really does bug out the AI of the Marines. And that's exactly what Terror is doing right now. So now, oh no, the Zealot! Wow, he's so close to being locked in. And that would have been painful.
Wow, I was a little nervous there for that Zealot. I thought he went for the SCV and was just trapped, but Terror's got to be careful here, right? We do have 2 Zealots and a probe.
Yeah, and this is okay. Well, the Zealot didn't take any damage. That's the issue. So this is 2 full health Zealots, and the Zealots get right on top of the Marines. Really good control from the Marines at the top side, but he needs to get in that bunker. Zhanhun, oh, probe says, oh, I thought he was going to say, hell no, you're not getting in there, but good drill from the SCV to mess up the AI of the Zealots. The racks didn't get floated at all, so he's still going to have that as a Sim City. One of the Zealots is almost dead, but a third Zealot moving across the map right now. He's trying to focus down that hurt Zealot. It's still alive, though.
Yeah, this is getting a little tricky here. Those Zealots have a ton of damage on them. Oh no, they're going to catch these Marines! Oh no.
Oh, it's
We've
okay.
built.
He's going to get both of them, but another Zealot wide walking through the natural gets through. Factory does not really get disrupted, though, at least not just yet. But this is quite annoying. That's the full health Zealot. So the factory, or the SCV building the factory, might get taken down. Nope, doesn't. Really good control from Terra so far, but he's losing a lot of mining time pulling so many SCVs.
Yeah, and we've made a lot of Marines too, so there's definitely been some pressure there. We see an immediate robotics going down, knowing that this factory is delayed with gasless. So he's going to probably want to get a transitional Reaver right away.
He's got 5 on gas in his main.
Uh-oh.
Terror does. Okay, he's got 4 now, but still 4. Not ideal, but regardless. He did build a lot of Marines, which you don't want, but Zhanhun did sack a lot of Zealots for that. So I think it was pretty even in the end. And also the fact that Terror did such a good job to minimize SCV losses is great for him. But again, I'm getting a little bit worried at SCV saturation. How much is that the net? Okay, actually it's pretty good. This is really good from Terror. Thought he kind of transferred too many, but not the case. And I think that's a starport that we just saw go down. Or an eBay. Yep, starport.
So recognizing the robotics, might even just get a Wraith himself, so cancel out that robo rather quickly. Zhanhun, I'm surprised that he didn't add like a second.
Or shot him. You don't want them.
He didn't like those
No.
Marines. He wants the supply for more SCVs.
They did their work, and now they're out of there. Now, actually, when I first saw this map get picked, I thought Zhanhun was going to go into carriers because it has the 3 gas on 2 base. But so far, nothing really indicates that it's going to be carriers other than this Reaver. Reaver carrier is a common follow-up, but I haven't seen a Stargate just yet, so wonder what the transition is.
Yeah, we're going to see that traditional drop play that TerrOr likes to do, which I think is really strong, especially if he can deny some of that third base and that is attached to his main if he wants to get down there. And also, like I said, if he gets a Wraith, they'll be able to cancel. Oh!
Uh-oh.
That
Carrier,
might not
man.
be ranged, Nyoken. That might be +1.
That could be +1. This could be a Nyoken build if you replace the Reaver with DTs. But this is going to be a lot of carriers. And I was thinking back to my games with Zhanhun last season. He played me Gateway Man on Butter. And then when we got on Vermeer, he played carriers. So carriers definitely in the arsenal. I know that for a fact because I had to face like 12 carriers. So this definitely could be skipped range. And now, actually those goons didn't have range when the tank popped out. I'm sure TerrOr's thinking like, whoa, man, you don't have range? How's that possible?
Yeah, something's up. There's the second Stargate and the fleet beacon going down. But TerrOr should scout it rather quickly because he's doing drop himself. So he should be able to say, hey, all right, no problem. I can transition from here, right? He can just add some factories, maybe get a timing push out.
Yeah, this is actually a bit lucky for TerrOr because there's no turrets at the bottom side, like the very bottom side. And also there wasn't a turret at the natural. So the Reaver, oh, okay, it just completed. So the Reaver gets pushed back. But like I said, range not being done for so long, you may already suspect that this is carriers. And like I said, just seeing the map, I thought it was going to be carriers. So we've got vultures in the main, tank drop. This is just one gate. Oh my god, they all clumped up. Luckily, just barely out of vision, so he doesn't get off that juicy probe shot.
Oh, he canceled that pylon knowing that he can get through. Because
12 kills!
Oh my goodness.
Oh my, 14 kills!
Wow. And these
natural.
He gets a full scout, he gets a ton of probes. Unbelievable here for TerrOr. Absolutely taking to Zhanhun right now.
Yeah, and oh my god, that's an isolated Reaver. If he knew that Reaver was there with no shuttle, he would probably instantly move tanks into position to siege. And TerrOr is not someone that will just go into 2-1 and deal with carriers that way with upgrades. He will just flood the factories, and that's exactly what we're seeing. There's the 5th one. Sure, we're going to see the 7 fact, like I was saying. Another vulture drop into the main, and the mines are set up in a way where it's going to be hard for the goons to get there. Oh, the Reaver unloads! Oh my god, what? What was that? One Zealot shot and one Reaver shot killed all 3?
Oh my goodness, but at the same time, all these probes going down. This is critical damage here.
Yeah, this is a ton of damage. Both sides really dealing crushing blows to both sides. Reaver is going to get taken down now by the single Wraith. Shuttle's going to get popped. I think Shuttle's going to get popped. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, Reaver. And, I mean, ignoring the fact that, of course, TerrOr sees everything. Or sees the carriers, I mean. He also saw there's only 2 gates. So, like, if you get rid of the Reaver, what does Protoss actually have to defend with?
Yeah, and he has done so much damage to these probe lines, man. I mean, there's just no money for anything. He's able to get these carriers out, but there's no way he's going to be able to have 4 by the time.
That's too far forward. That's way too far forward. That's a picked off tank. Oh, the mine actually doesn't get connections onto the goons. The bunker is doing a lot of work, but losing those 3 tanks and then losing another tank right here is going to force TerrOr to not just instantly move out right now. Like, imagine if TerrOr had even just 2 more tanks right now. You think he could move out? I think he could.
Yeah.
Just the first 2 carriers moving out right now. Rallied Goliath could deal with them. So Zhanhun's done a really good job to keep TerrOr back for now.
Yeah, there are no units. We were on 2 gateways here. Again, if we had 3 more tanks, we could definitely go win the game. So these 2 carriers are flying solo, coming down with like 2 interceptors each here to engage some of TerrOr's army. I just don't think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough either. 4 Marines, I mean, they're going to get eaten up, but I mean, at least it buys time. Vultures get picked off. Oh, of course one gets in. Why not? And he has the dropship there too. Okay, goodbye Vulture. But actually, maybe this was too ambitious. 2 carriers in a dream gonna keep TerrOr back. Also, these bridges bug out the AI. The tanks aren't going back as fast as they could, so more tanks are gonna get picked off. And no SCVs got across the map, so they're not even building turrets. So actually, it looks like Zhanhun's gonna hold for now.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get Goliaths out here. We need the couple Goliaths. We can even just get like 6. I think we can start popping these carriers right away. So he's got to do it before he can actually get the critical mass of carrier.
Yeah, my opinion is really you're looking for 3 to 4 Goliaths per carrier, so that would put you at between 6 and 8. I think
Oh,
if
no.
you're Terran, you're probably erring on the side of the caution where you want to at least have like 10 or so this time around, even if it's just 2 carriers. But these carriers buying so much time, and the Goliath count is still quite low. Also, remember, the Marines died, so that means there's nothing in the bunker right now. He knows that, so he picks off another Goliath.
Yeah, we are just chipping away here at SCVs and just Goliaths. I mean, Terra's got to try to conserve some of these units here and push out altogether, because if he keeps getting these Goliaths just killed by these 2 right now, when he wants to move out, there's going to be 4 carriers, and they're going to do some serious damage. Oh, see another drop here.
Yeah, I like that. I was waiting for him to get another drop. I think that's the only way that he can match this harassment from the carriers, and now forcing all the probes to be moved again. He caught like 3 or 4. I would say that's definitely worth when the gateway count is only at 2.
For sure. A Valkyrie's on the field here. Not the Valkyrie. Everyone's doing it.
We're spending all that money. Anything that can produce anti-air, we're building it. Valkyrie does actually a surprising amount of damage to shields. Now, in terms of dealing damage to armor, I mean, they deal basically negative damage, but this could soften up the carrier shields quite a bit.
And we're at 4 carrier, or just 3 carriers, it looks like. Gotta be careful. Do we have the interceptor upgrade? We have
counter.
4.
He's just trying to make it weird. I mean, this is what you should do. You've got carriers, the ultimate unit. All you have to do is make it. Oh my god, he catches one. Can he kill it? He does kill it. And I think that's the one that makes it critical mass for Protoss. I think that was his 4th carrier, so now it's still just 3. And that is the case. Oh, goodbye Valkyrie, but it's still going to deal a decent amount of damage to the shields, I guess. What was it, 30 points or so?
Yeah, and Zhanhun is okay, I think, trading some goons for these Goliaths if he can get some picks. And I thought he was going to go with the carriers at the same time to the main, but it's not going to work out for him. He's going to try to regroup these things. And like you said, he lost that 4th carrier, which is massive.
Yeah, if Terror just goes for a push and set up the contain, I think he's got it. Because there's so many SCVs here, he can build turrets nonstop. Zhanhun's eco isn't crazy. The amount of goons is kind of hard to deal with counterattacks. But like you said, the carrier count isn't that overwhelming. So I think just a single tank on high ground out of range of the goons could hold potential counters. But he's got to start building those turrets up. And I actually think he's going to knock down this base. However, look how close those tanks are to the ledge. One insta-dies. Carriers can float over the side and take down all those tanks. But the Goliaths are now in critical mass where even interceptors can get knocked down.
Yeah, and these are 0-0, I think. Carriers are maybe just +1 attack, not enough to withstand the upgrades from the Goliaths. They can just get, all these interceptors are just going to get picked so easily. And you can see them really not doing much damage here, especially with the turrets.
Yeah, and he has so many SCVs, he can start repairing those tanks. Oh man, this is just snowballing in favor of Terra. He's breached the natural now, and there's nothing. I mean, literally, it's just carriers at this point. What's that, 3 goons to try and defend 4 tanks and 12 or so Goliaths? The carriers have to counterattack and kill command centers, kill factories, or do something to prevent reinforcements from getting across.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try, like you said, make it even weirder. He's just going to try to counter with these carriers. Maybe if he gets on the production of Terror, he can make something happen. But there's just so many Goliaths at his base as well. Goliaths and Valks. I mean, how do you kill all that? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not the scary critical mass. Really scary is when it's 6 to 8. That's when it starts really getting ridiculous. But there's no support for the carriers, so literally just mass turrets could win this. Getting the armory is a big deal, but I'm sure he's going to insta rebuild that, or he's already queued up a ton of Goliaths already. So getting the armory is really nice. Maybe it can buy him time, but I mean, this is Terror. He's going to be pushing you while all this happening. He's going to be defending while pushing. Look at that. The natural's gone. Main's about to be gone. I think this is it. Zhanhun's going to be not mining in a second. Look at it. He has no money either, so every loss of interceptor is huge. This is it. Yeah. Champignon done it, man.
Champignon may have done it, but we have another base here for Zhanhun. I don't think it's going to help him at this point. We're up to
that's
7
true.
carriers.
That is true. This is Odyssey. Can you range? Okay, you definitely can range the Nexus from the high ground. But yeah, the third Nexus is a big deal because at least he can support the interceptors now. And it's not like TerrOr has a third base, right? We're approaching 17 minutes, which is when bases start getting mined out. And it's not like TerrOr has a big bank either. So 7 carriers? Can they do it? Valkyrie dies. Valkyries are expensive.
Yeah, that base down there may give him a comeback mechanic here, Nyoken, because if he can support more interceptors continuously, and he has, like you said, the 7 carriers, he might be able to do it.
Yeah, 7 carriers is critical mass. Like I said, that's when you do get scared about them. I actually want to see Marines get put in that bunker, man. Oh, we can't lose that. Every carrier matters so much. He hasn't realized that he's got a carrier just sitting there. So that could get taken down. I see the cybernetics is still spinning. I imagine it's for +2 weapon. Oh, we got it.
Yeah, that's the 8th carrier. It's going to go down now.
Well, this is it for Zhanhun. Oh my god, Cloak coming in. But those are expensive units to build. But it could be a game-winning move. Did Cloak complete? Remember, he doesn't have a Robo anymore.
Yeah, he has 1 observer out there, or 2 observers out there. He's making these Wraith, but I don't know, Nyoken. Is that the move to switch to the Wraith at this point, or do you just stay on the Goliaths?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Goliaths were the move, but it is cute to get the Wraiths because if you get Cloaked, you just win if there's no observers. But Wraiths are so expensive, and this is 7 carriers. There's only 6 Goliaths left. There's not critical turrets anymore. He can start killing the factories. Cloak comes in. Does he remember that he's got an observer? Look, he scans because he thinks there's no observer, and there is. Okay, TerrOr's got to turn around. Does TerrOr remember that there's a third base?
I don't know. He has not. You just think that there's a hidden base somewhere on the map, not realizing it's right there, and the fact that he can't access it might actually kill him.
He's gonna kill. He can.
He's on the production here, Nyoken. I mean, that's massive. If he just starts killing these factories, it could be game over. He can go back in mine.
Yeah, he just needs to kill the factories. That's it. Oh, I can tell you this. We cannot be bleeding in Goliath one at a time. Cannot do that. Every Goliath so important right now. Cloak goes off, but again, the observers are still alive. There's 2 of them. He's fighting down the ramp. But this is 7 carriers versus, what, 7 Goliaths? You can't win that fight.
Oh my good GG from TerrOr. What?
How?
No way.
How? He had it.
My goodness, Nyoken. What? No way. I'm shocked. He could have just sieged 1 tank from the main and killed that 3rd Nexus and just continued Goliath production. He could have got it. Oh my goodness.
I think he just forgot that there's a 3rd base there. Even though he had a building floating over bottom middle, he just forgot that there was money incoming from there. And oh my god, Zhanhun, how do you not just insta-leave that game? I would have insta-left when I lost my natural. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, then the main gets killed, everything gets killed, you're stuck on those things, but he got to the 7 carriers, but I don't know. I think the Wraith was maybe not the best switch at that point, because he didn't really have enough. Like, he only had 2 Wraiths to cloak and go in. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I thought TerrOr for sure had that one. That's wild.
Yeah, I think the Wraith switch is okay, but you gotta hide it, right? Like, if the factories are over near the edge and the starports are on the left side where Protoss can't see them being made, then it's different. But I agree, you could also just continue to build Goliaths. But it's so hard to fight carriers when you only have +1 weapon. You watch my YouTube video, +1 weapon, not a breakpoint versus carriers. There's a huge difference between +2 and +1, so I can't fault him for that. And also, you think from Terran's point of view, I killed the Robo. How many observers can this guy actually have? You get it. You feel like you just insta-win. So, unfortunate, because I think TerrOr had it there. But Zhanhun, we've got another Chinese moving in to the round of 16, and another favorite to go all the way.
Yeah, what a game there, though. He gets through, but that's wild, man. TerrOr putting up a really good fight. Unbelievable game. Crazy, crazy match right there.
That was nuts. That's game of the tournament so far for me. So definitely, if you're just tuning in right now, you need to rewatch this game. But we are going to be going into our elimination match, which is going to be a ZVZ. We haven't seen that all day between Zoom and SquaLL. So we're going to a break, and then we'll be back with that one. All right, guys, we are back, and that was a legendary TVP between Zhanhun and TerrOr. Now we're hopefully getting into a legendary Zerg versus Zerg. I've seen a lot of Hive Tech games in BSL in particular, so maybe we'll get one between Zoom and SquaLL, but SquaLL and the ZVT versus TerrOr, he was Mutaman all day. Feel like we're probably just going to have big Muta slugfest.
Yeah, I think the same. I think we're just going to see a ton of Muta, a ton of Lings. I think that's just going to be it. But I'd love to see it get late game. I'd love to see some Plague and some Ensnare, some Devour, something crazy happen. I mean, we already just had that wild match. Let's just have another one. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, Plague. There is a crazy game between Jaedong and Yellow. Yes, I said Yellow, the old Yellow, and it was on match point. You know, actually, when I met Jaedong in person, I even mentioned that game to him. I'm like, my favorite game is this game between you and Yellow. And he's like, yeah, I played really bad. I'm like, I don't care. That Burrowed Plague was nuts. So I hope we can get... Have you seen Burrowed Plague? Imagine plaguing a Muta ball, and it hits literally like 50 Mutas. That's what happened in that game.
Oh, man. Way to bring it up. You're like, hey, John, let me rip this emotional bandage right off. No problem. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, yeah, nice to meet you. You remember that guy that's 20 years older than you that you lost to? Yeah, that's my favorite game ever.
Oh my goodness. Well, we might have that here. Who knows? We could have burrowed plague that Nyoken can remind one of these players when he meets them in person.
Yeah. Remember when Zoom plagued all your mutas, SquaLL? Oh, well, one can hope, right? We've got Power Bond, which has a lot of bases nearby. It's got 10 patches. It's got gas at all the bases. So, and we have seen Hive Tech games on here. So here's to hoping. But we've got Zoom versus SquaLL on Power Bond. Let's get into our first game of the elimination map. Okay, in the mid-left position, our blue Zerg, it is SquaLL.
And in bottom middle, it is Zoom. All right, we'll see what our players open up with here on this map. 3-player map probably definitely changes a little bit what a player might want to do, because there's still that risk of a 9-pool speed catching you pretty early. With the base setup here, we're going to have Zoom's going to be able to scout SquaLL first, so quick advantage for him at least to be able to see what SquaLL is up to.
Yeah, massive advantage. You're going to get to see the hatch timing. You see a hatch, you can figure out the pool timing relative to yours. The opposing player obviously has no idea what you're doing. You could be doing anything. This is obviously just a really lucky scout pattern for Zoom here. And we do have SquaLL, unfortunately, going to find him last. I mean, you also don't drone scout in this matchup. So blue is, or SquaLL, I mean, is literally going to be in the dark, and he's just going to have to guess what Zoom is up to.
Yeah, we see an Overlord being built here from Zoom, so no straight 9-pool from him. Might even be a hatch first here. Can be strong right away, right? You're going to first scout in a hatch first. Could put you in a build order advantage right away. So we'll see if that's what he's going to end up opting for.
Wow, both players going for what seems to be a 12 hatch. I'm sure somebody will put down an 11 hatch, but no pool just yet. Like I said, Power Bond has an additional patch that you can see at the top side. It's, I think, slightly less than 1,500. Yes, okay, it's actually more than slightly less, just 675 minerals. Oh, actually, it's a 12 pool from Zoom, so he's going middle of the road here. I think this is a pretty good build. It's quite flexible, but he's not going to be loving the fact that he sees 12 hatch from SquaLL.
Yeah, I think the 12 hatch is a direct counter just to a 12 pool, so he's definitely not going to be happy seeing that. But kind of the risk we were talking about yesterday that you take when you go 12 hatch is, these or 12 pool, like you're really, like I said, middle of the road, and like builds like this just put you so behind. So we'll see if he can recover it from here.
Yeah, and with it being Zerg, you have that mechanic that no other race has with the larva. So the fact that the hatch is even just a few seconds late, that's 1 or 2 larvae that you literally can never catch up. It will just never exist for you in your favor. So I still think Zoom's in a fine position. I don't think this is going to be anything crazy, because you also got to remember, SquaLL has no idea what this guy is doing. So he must build lings here, whereas Zoom, he can just drone for now because he knows he's safe.
Yeah, that is right. The big positive that he can see that, so that's definitely gonna be a plus for him right there. Just being able to get those drones. I mean, every drone in ZBZ just matters so much, right? Because it's such a low eco matchup. Well, 2 lings here from Zoom, so he's feeling comfortable. He saw the 12 hatch. He knows he has time.
Yeah, I'm surprised he built any, really. I mean, you know what this guy is doing. Maybe he just builds 2 and he's going to sneak some across the map. No, he's just going to start. What?
Oh, wow.
Did we just see a drone cycle when this guy
Wow.
didn't scout at all? I guess he knows, like, okay, well, if you were going to ling me, they would have been here by now. So that was either the greatest read I've ever seen or massive greed from SquaLL.
SquaLL, just a madman, said, I don't need lings. I'm just going to make drones. No problem.
Well, that was the correct read, because he's right. There's nothing coming. Okay, that's Sunken Colony. Seems very preemptive from Zoom. I mean, whoa, and he insta-morphed it too. What does... Did he
saw the
misread?
drone cycle.
Yeah,
he saw the drone cycle.
Maybe he thought there were more that snuck out somehow past his Overlord. I don't know what that's doing. Maybe he's using that to just drone behind it, but Sunkens aren't that good versus Ling, so I don't even think this is really going to deter SquaLL from Ling all-inning, for example.
Yeah, maybe Maybe he's even hoping he can put some pressure on if he sees the Lings move out. He can make a counter. That's why I put that Sunken down, because that's a big investment here for CVZ to put down a creep and actually morph it right away. So we'll see. Maybe he has something for later use.
Yeah, this is the one matchup where I wish it was a replay so we could get a look at the drone count, because worker count obviously just such a huge deal in ZVZ. It looks pretty even so far, despite there being a force supply advantage for SquaLL. I think it's simply in all those Lings that he's built, but maybe he does have more drones than I thought. Regardless, we've got to move out with speed, and now Zoom is really going to have to rely on that Sunken. Actually, maybe not really rely, because he does have a decent amount of Zerglings himself, but this is a lot of Lings actually, but I don't think it will be able to get past this amount of Lings plus Sunken.
Yeah, no, that Sunken just tanks so much
He's
damage,
going
but it
for
doesn't matter. SquaLL's going for it anyway. Trying to get in here. Maybe he'll just kill Lings down and run in the main. Let's see. No, he's getting on the natural. Wow.
Is this over? This looks like one of those slick timings where you catch a Zerg building mutas and you just run them over with Lings, and now we've got 4 Lings in the main. This is a nightmare for Zoom. His mutas still haven't popped out. At least he hasn't lost any drones yet. Good drone drilling so far. Losing just 1? That's okay, I would say, but he did lose all of his Lings in the Sunken, which obviously makes him vulnerable to Ling counterattack. Now, losing a second drone, now that's painful.
Yeah, very painful there, but we do see that the drone count still seems pretty even here between the two players. I think -1 on gas at the natural there for Zoom.
Oh, it's too many mutas. It's going to be muta advantage slightly in SquaLL's favor, and obviously reinforcement advantage, and he didn't have to drone drill at all. You can't engage here. I think he thinks that he can. Oh, he's already dead. He's already dead. First shots went to SquaLL. SquaLL has more mutas. It's 8 versus 4, and that's going to be lights out for Zoom.
Man, unfortunate here that he thought he had some kind of timing seeing all those Lings, but with the hatch first to be able to pump out more drones and taking that super greedy drone cycle, SquaLL just has a crazy economy and just so many muta here. I mean, we'll just be waiting for GG from Zoom.
Wow, that's unfortunate, because I thought Zoom had enough Lings to defend, but just barely 4 left over, get into the main. If he had even just 2 more Lings there, he would have held and taken no damage, and then he would have had drone advantage because of so many Lings being built, or at least even drones. Would have been a playable situation. I don't even fault him for the counterattack, because you're thinking this guy probably spent all of his larva. Can he really make 6 mutas to match mine? I don't think so. But SquaLL was on top of it, and you can just see in the blink of an eye, ZVZ, it's over.
Yeah, barbaric matchup, just slugfest right away, and that's it. Make Lings, make muta, a move. There, then it just goes down. But I think definitely a build order advantage that really helps SquaLL there. I mean, hatch first versus 12 pool. Just, you know, got to be careful with these 12 pools. That kind of stuff, the game's just over. I know it counters 9 pool pretty well, but put himself in a tough spot a little bit. And he had the first scout, so he kind of knew.
Yep, well, that puts SquaLL one. Yeah, I can't believe he built the drones either. I mean, that's... Whoa, that... He must have a read on Zoom, because... I mean, that's the only way, right? I mean, they're both European. I'm sure they match versus each other quite a lot, but that was insane. 12 hatch and you build 2 drones. Pretty nuts, but that puts him 1 game away from making it into the last chance match, which we would have a rematch between him and TerrOr. And Zoom has decided that he's going to risk it all on Vermeer. Solid choice, no 2-player map, but he's going to need to get lucky with his scout pattern again, I think, because if SquaLL gets away with another 12 hatch and 2 drones, and you play another middle of the road build, you're in trouble.
Yeah, maybe he will try a 12 hatch of his own, but it seems like our players are ready, so let's jump into game number 2.
And in the top left, our blue Zerg, it is SquaLL.
And in top right, fighting for his BSL life, it is Zoom. SquaLL gonna get that first scout off right away as well, going right towards Zoom's base. Zoom going the other way.
Yeah, unlucky this time around. I hope we see a decisive build order from him this time. I want to see either 9 pool or 12 hatch, not 12 pool. I mean, it ended up being an okay build, I think, but I want to see decisiveness here. I want to see him go for the throat with the 9 pool, or say, hey, I can out macro you. Let's play with a 12 hatch.
Yeah, I think a lot of times ZBZ, that's pretty much the way to go, right? Like you pick either one of those routes so that you can get super aggressive, or you're going to sit back and play a little more economically friendly. But these middle of the road stuff definitely tough, and we don't see an Overlord this time from Zoom, so it looks like he is going to go with the 9 pool, Nyoken. He hears you. He hears you, man.
I like it. Bring it to this guy. If you're gonna play 12 hatch and 2 drones, come on. You gotta be at least a little bit respectful here. So I love the 9 pool just in this guy. We've got a extractor trick, I imagine. No extractor trick. So what's this? I think they call this overgas. Yeah. So this is going to be, I think, just a good counter actually to what Zoom's doing.
It's actually the best counter to do overgas versus 9 pool speed or 9 pool air because you have more gas, but unfortunate builder again. But we'll see what happens. Zoom able to get his speed on time, be able to get some lings in base before SquaLL has enough, so there's still that possibility.
Yep, now I guess all it comes down to is what's the gas going to go into for Zoom. If it's into speed, I think probably SquaLL already got the game in the bag, unless he puts down a hatcher at the natural and it somehow gets picked off. And that is going to be speed for Zoom, which means there's always going to be at least a 200 gas advantage for SquaLL. And if you can never catch up in 2 mutas, I don't know how you're going to turn this game around, because I don't think SquaLL's getting speed. I think he's just going to hold the ramp the entire game.
Yeah, he should know right away. We see him morph that lair. He knows if he can take position on his ramp, he should be good. We'll see if he uses speed here. Doesn't. Oh, he does. So he is getting speed of his own, but with the ramp, he doesn't really need it right away, right? He can just sit up there with the Zerglings and be fine. But will he get in here, Nyoken, before those lings are on the ramp? It looks like they are. He's going up. Oh,
just barely in time. And the first kill went to SquaLL also, so that means that there's no way these lings are going to get in. And SquaLL, he's in a fantastic position right now, and he also knows that this was a 9 pool, so he's moving down. I guess for now he has ling advantage, but 4 more lings moved out. They snuck out, actually.
Yeah, they snuck out, Nyoken. He did not see them. He's going to see them now, and that should trigger him to probably go back up his ramp, or not, or just stand there and make more lings. Ooh, drone cycle coming in here for Zoom. He's the one saying, I'm going to greed a little bit.
Yeah, no speed for Zoom yet. I feel like it would have kicked in by now, right? Did he?
I wonder if he canceled.
Is there a possibility he canceled? It seems like he must have canceled it.
Canceled it. And we have SquaLL taking his natural right away while putting down the Spire. Zoom putting down the Spire. No second hatch, though.
Yeah, well, this hatchery, he's got to do something about the hatchery, because if SquaLL gets away with this while also having gas advantage, this is going to be bad news bears for Zoom. But he is droning. So he's got really good eco. Like, SquaLL, I think, is only mining with 6 drones in his main on minerals. So there is a lot of income for Zoom right now. Another drone cycle for SquaLL to catch back up. But Zoom, I think, has better mineral income right now. But, of course, that hatchery completing is a huge deal for SquaLL.
Yeah, whatever. I see that the drone is now moving. He'll probably put the expansion down himself, or unless he's planning on taking a hatch in base. No, he's just moving it around. Okay, I was gonna say that would be a disastrous move at this point to put your second hatch in the main. So I'm glad he went for the natural.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare scenario. It's not only just now starting when the opponent's completing, but also you're never having access to that secondary gas. It would just be nightmare scenario. Zoom is moving out, still no speed for him, but I think there is an equal amount of lings for SquaLL right now. Well, actually he has slightly more, so 11 versus 9, so no way Zoom can ever win this fight. He's just going to poke in here and back off.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, because SquaLL has speed. No, he doesn't. Okay, I would say he would be able to catch up and chase these lings down, so we see the first muta popping out here for SquaLL, and Zoom should have his close behind.
Yeah, he's gonna have. Oh, is that an Evo? I had a feeling it was gonna be a third hatch. I was like, dude, this guy's got a lot of money, but third hatch, are you gonna be able to support this amount of hatcheries when you're not going to be droning for the next couple minutes, I don't think. We'll see, though. But for now, SquaLL's not feeling confident enough to move out with his mutas. You got to remember, he has larva advantage now, at least for the next minute or so. So he could do something to Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, if he might have a good timing here, even with just the Lings and the Muta and fighting and maybe picking a couple Lings off, running Lings in while the Muta micro against each other. Some kind of multitask like that could really put him far ahead here. Because like you said, the larva advantage is apparent. I mean, we have 7 Muta here for SquaLL and only 4 for Zoom. Oh no.
You got the first hit off again. Oh, that was a good connection on the I think the Scourge connected. But like you said, it's 4 versus 7. Red can never win this fight. He's going to engage. He doesn't realize that it's 7, and already this is again. It's just too much. SquaLL, he's going to take game 2. He's going to be moving on versus TerrOr. TG. It was the game.
The game, or maybe it was the goods for him because he won.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunate for Zoom. Played well, but SquaLL bested him in those 2 games. Definitely got some good build orders there. And now he's back up against TerrOr. So what do you do here, Nyoken? Do you get crazy? Do you try something a little bit more aggressive against TerrOr? I mean, we saw a Muta Lingman. I don't know. Is that the way to go versus TerrOr?
I mean, he was doing well versus it, right? Every time TerrOr moved out, he was slamming the army in the center of the map. The problem was the drops. I mean, the drops ended the game. I mean, flat out, it did. I personally think Lurker Ling is a good combo versus TerrOr. And the reason I say that is you have the Hydras, and if he goes Wraith, you've got Hydras, right? If he goes for low Marine count, like a 5 racks upgrade, you've got Lurker Ling. You can catch Terran off guard because they're not expecting Lurkers into a 5 rack. Also, it kills the Valkyrie build. How do I know? Your boy got killed by it last week. So I think that could be a good opening. It's also very sneaky, but we'll have to see what SquaLL comes up with. Of course, we're going to be going into a break, and we'll be back with our final series of the day. final series. We've got Raz's favorite map up next. It's Nemesis, and it's going to be a ZVT. This is a tough map for both sides. You've got Zerg's getting a third base pretty easily, but at the same time, Terran's pretty locked up on their 3 or 4 bases. Can easily mech switch, and we know Terra's got that in their arsenal. What do you got here, man? You think SquaLL can take down Terra, or is it Champion all day?
I think SquaLL has the ability to take him down, but I don't know if Terra's going to let that happen. He's playing very well. He almost took out Zhanhun, so I think favor goes to him. So we'll see what SquaLL comes up with. The map, Nemesis. Love the map now. One of my new favorites, of course. I saw a couple of games the other day on this. I was watching some of the Caster StarLeague stuff, and I saw Yabsat play against Mihu, and he did exactly what you just said, Nyoken. He took 4 bases so fast with sunk in and just a couple muta, and just went right into Ultra. So we'll see if that's something maybe SquaLL will try to do, just take a couple bases, be greedy like he's been, and just get to that late game tech.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to bust because what do you do? I mean, Zerg can take down the assimilators, and all of a sudden you're relying on drops to get in there. You also, I don't think, can range the hatcheries. Like if you were to somehow get a tank right up against those assimilators or eggs, you can't knock them down that way. So it's probably why we saw Nada in that legendary game versus Larva go for a nuke bust on blockchain. Map is very similar to blockchain. You just want to go for the throat. You don't want to let Zergs get into 20 ultras when you're going bio. I mean, that's just not a game-winning scenario for Terran. So we'll see what Terra wants to come up with in this particular matchup on this map. Players are ready. Let's get into our final series of the day, Terra versus SquaLL. Oh, I love it! In the top left, in the blue, he's gonna bring it to our Terran player in bottom left. It is SquaLL with the 4 pool.
And in the bottom left, hopefully not going to go for a 14cc. It is TerrOr.
Oh, well, if there's anybody that can stop a 4 pool, it's TerrOr, because we had a few seasons ago, Crossy with the 4 pool. I was watching it unfold. I'm like, he's dead, dude. He didn't get down the barracks in time. Somehow that Marine slipped through the ramp, slipped through the SCVs, got to the bunker, and all of a sudden it was lights out. So if this is a 14cc, the game's over. I actually think this might be game over anyways because the Rax is so far forward. I'm getting flashbacks to Crossy game already.
Oh, man. I was going to say, can you get a wall up in this bottom left base? But I don't even think that's definitely not going to be in time.
Yeah, there's no way it's in time. The only way it's in time is if you're putting down a depot like instantly after you start the Rax. But you're never doing that.
Man, SquaLL bringing it, baby.
Oh, I love it. And it's so risky in your final series, right? At least it's game 1, so you can afford, I guess. Oh my God, there's no Rax. There's no Rax. This is impossible to hold.
No.
You can't hold it. It can't be done. Can't be done. So put it on the board, Zero. We've got 1-0 SquaLL. If TerrOr wins here, somebody's going to check this man, check his keyboard, check his gear. This is impossible to hold.
Oh my goodness. He is doing the 14C. And he scouts the correct way with the drone. No.
Oh my God. The funny thing is like, even if you were to build the Rax late, on some maps you can build it you can build it even late and still hold because it'll still complete and you can just repair the depot and Rax forever. But this is impossible. Just GG any moment now. The big brain, Einstein Zerg, SquaLL. I love how he's putting the drone there to try and block the depot, but doesn't matter. It's over.
Oh my goodness.
Well, they talk about how SCVs are IMBA. They need to be IMBA right now. They need to be on steroids. Well, he's going to catch one Ling at the top side. Oh, no, he's not. Let's see. 7 Lings, 8 Lings versus...
Oh!
There's no way, right? It's impossible. There's no way.
Oh, no, Nyoken. He's not giving up.
He's supply blocked, so this is just all of the amount of Lings that he has.
Okay.
Okay, I was getting nervous. I was like, we're blocked. We can't build any more lings. Is it possible that we could actually hold this? And there we go, 1-0. And that sets the
Wow.
tone for the next 2 games. Because now Terror probably thinks he's a favorite in the series, right? And SquaLL played normal the first one. Now you're thinking like, okay, am I going to get all in again? Or is he going to play normal? You know, I actually wouldn't even hate to see a 4-pool again. Wouldn't hate it.
Oh, Nyoken pushing the 4 pools forward, loving it. Back-to-back 4 pools. Why not? Make it happen. Oh my goodness. This is, dude, you got it right though. It's got to definitely shake TerrOr up at least a little bit, right? Like you said, like you played standard the first 2 games, and all of a sudden you're throwing 4 pools at me. Now all of a sudden you have all the builds in your arsenal. And I mean, I don't want to say that it's just insane and just craziness, but the game he decides to do the 14cc, like his name says, he runs into that 4 pool. Can't be happy about that.
Yeah, and now it starts getting into how well you know the other player. Because I can tell you, for example, if somebody proxies me or does some type of shenanigans enough times, at some point it's going to be like, oh, okay, we want to play it like this, I'm going to 8 racks or whatever. I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to bring it to you like, hey, you want to play aggro? I can play aggro. And for example, when Flash played random in ASL, right, he crushed Rush twice in a row. And then knowing Rush is somebody that will be aggro, Rush went for an 8 rack. So what did Flash do when he random Zerg? He went for a 7 pool because it's eco and it crushes an 8 racks. So this is where, does SquaLL think that Terror's going to tilt here in 8 racks? If he does, and he goes for something like a 7 pool or eco pool, I think this could be just SquaLL taking the series 2-0. But if Terror plays normal and we get like a 7 pool, well, SquaLL's dead, right? So this is all about the mind games now. And we got notice from Zero. Players are ready. Game 2, SquaLL 1 game away. Okay, well, in the top left, no 4 pool. It is SquaLL.
And in the bottom left, it is TerrOr. Let's see if he's going to take a 14cc again.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard. Some people have like, I'm just going to consistently do the same build over and over and over. Sometimes I've decided I'm going to 14cc, and it worked or it didn't work the first time. I'm going to do it again. Some people are, like I said, they'll not necessarily tilt, but hey, you want to play like that? Okay, let's go then. We'll see if CC Lover here is going to be aggressive. So far, looks like we're just going to have Depot in the main because the SCV should have been sent out, and it is not. So no tilt. TerrOr is just going to play normal, and we do see SquaLL also playing normal.
And just standard stuff. They're reverting back here to nothing too wild again. No 4 pools or pool first play, which is good. You don't want to see players just tilt off, but it happens. You know, you can get crazy after a game like that. But TerrOr keeping it calm, keeping it ready to go.
Yep, it's going to be 12 hatch, no 12 pool, no over pool or any of that. Racks coming down for TerrOr. He's already learned his lesson. No forward raxes.
He's like, not again. No way.
And we do have Scout coming out from TerrOr. He should go bottom right. That's the pathway you go. You want to intercept the Overlord at the natural. So he's probably going to find SquaLL second because the drone's going to come down bottom left and scout him. And SquaLL, not being greedy, not going to build additional drones before the pool. I think that's always exactly what you should do versus someone like TerrOr. And we do have instant gas follow-up, so this is very normal. Currently very in the meta for ZVT.
Yeah. Talking about Tementals of players, Nyoken, I mean, I'm sure TerrOr's feeling pretty good, but imagine being that close to making it through the winners group, losing that crazy one to Zhanhun, and then facing a 4 pool. My blood might be boiling a little bit.
Yeah, I might be pissed. And by might be, I mean definitely pissed.
Oh man, but
can you imagine Gypsy if he was the one? You know, he's already throwing his keyboard on his stream. I'm sure he would be really angry after that. Regardless, we've got the SCV coming, and he is going to see that this is just a normal opener, and he is just going to play it safe. This is a 2 Marine expand. This is exactly what you do open with when you're unsure of what Zerg is going for.
Yeah, everything's super standard here. Nothing crazy. Being safe, doesn't want to drop this game to some other shenanigans, so we'll see.
Definitely
Shenanigans
not.
still could be on the table, right? We could see some Ling Flood here still.
Oh yeah, he could build Lings if he catches the SCV. 100% he could flood Lings, which is why I love how TerrOr has put his, what is it, third depot on the low ground here, or second depot on the low ground here, create a little bit of Sim City, really wall himself in if he suspects any types of aggro play is coming. Now, if he does kill this SCV, I think this could be a lurker bust. If it's not killed quickly, I think we're just going to see standard Muta.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to mix in there, right? If you can get this done, but phenomenal control here from TerrOr, knowing he wants to see and make sure.
Yeah, you cannot lose your SCV, at least not this quickly, especially versus somebody that you know, or at least have found out he's capable of mega all-in moves, especially with something like a 4-pool. And Lair completes. Now the SCV I don't think ever got down to the natural, so I guess technically Hydrogen could be there, but we know that's not the case. Spire coming down, and actually TerrOr is playing more middle of the road here. This is a 2 racks. Remember on the Vermeer game earlier, he went 4 racks eBay. So this is more respect, like, okay, I don't want to get caught off guard by anything. This is just, I want to be safe.
Yeah, and he made that really good SimCity. He's good there. Oops, SquaLL going in here.
That's a good trade. He's going to get 3 Marines. I mean, it's not exactly the best trade. If he was able to get a little bit more surround, he definitely would have gotten at least 5 Marines. And that would have been mega worth. But now you have to factor in Zerg lost all those Lings. There's no Sunken at the natural. And SCV still sees everything. So he's going to know whether there's Sunkens or not. And the Marine medic timing could be quite strong, even though he lost 3 Marines.
So yeah, maybe he'll go for a stim rush here. Get himself across the map. Try to get a kill.
And here we go. This is not a really scary army, but when you know you've killed 8 Lings and you know the Spire's not done yet, what can Zerg do? If Zerg uses their larva for Lings, well, guess what? That means there's no Mutas coming anytime soon. If they build Sunkens, they have to now build multiple Sunkens. It can't just be one because all the Lings are gone. So this is a fantastic timing from TerrOr. And I like how he doesn't commit either. He just makes you build stuff that you don't want and then backs off.
Yeah, that was just going to say, that's fantastic play there. Pulled it back, make sure that he doesn't, made those Sunkens go down, got his advantage, and he's going to move on.
Oh, SCV. Tell me he killed one. Tell me he got a kill. Oh, does he have one already? He does have one already. How did he get one already? Damn. Sneaky bastard.
My goodness. Ninja SCVs here from TerrOr. Ninjas. Unbelievable.
That SCV has full health, too. So remember, the SCV was getting hit earlier, so that was a second SCV that I didn't even realize got into the main somehow.
It's wild. Wild stuff.
Well, we've got the first 2 Mutas poking in, sees the turrets, and backs off. Turret placement is pretty darn good. The turret at the natural by the depot, interesting. A lot of times I like building a bunker there instead of a turret, because at least you can load Marines in that. But he's decided that he wants more turrets, which are fine, but I think he just now started his factory, so 6:30 factory timing. Pretty standard, but it's definitely not going to be Valkyries this game. It's way too slow for that. And SquaLL has decided he's going to take top right as his third base, as opposed to top mid, for example, like what he did in the first series.
All right, getting some good SCV picks here. Got a couple. Leaving the Hurt Muta out. Another one. Just poking in.
Good.
Get when he can.
Yeah, if we think back to the first Vermeer series, I remember I pointed out the SCV count was quite thin at the natural, but it didn't end up backfiring for TerrOr because the Mutas actually never harassed the natural ever. But this time around, he killed a few. TerrOr's done a better job this time around keeping his SCV count quite high, but Muta's now backing off, and the Muta count isn't as high as I was expecting it to be by now. It's at just 9. But I don't see a Hydrogen anywhere, so he's not actually transitioning into Hydras just yet, or at all, really. So this is still probably going to be his +1 armor play that he likes.
Yeah, he seems to like that Muta-Ling combo, just trying to take out the bio just with those 2 combinations. And TerrOr keeps scanning the nat, checking for it, sees the drone count, sees that Mutas are still popping, so he knows he's still on that Muta.
Yeah, oh, okay. I thought for sure this is not going to be Valkyries, but instead, it is going to be a tank Valkyrie play. This is going to be similar to what we saw in the ASL season last season with Rush and Royal going for tank Valkyrie Marine Medic, but I actually don't think this is going to work because knowing SquaLL, he almost always goes armor every time. So unless that armory is spinning with +1 weapon on air, Valkyrie's going to do not very much damage at all, to be honest. And the Marine count isn't going to be that big either because he's just on 2 racks. So I don't know about this. I really like SquaLL's position right now.
Yeah, if he can get that Mutiling with a couple Scourge and just run over that first army, especially with only 2 racks, it would take TerrOr forever to get back on the map. So definitely. Oh, he went +1 attack here.
Armor. Weapon. Of course he goes weapon. The one game that TerrOr is going Valkyries ends up being weapon for Zerg. Now he's going to take down all of these turrets. And now this natural mineral line is... Oh my god. Goodbye, Marines. +1 weapon doing work.
Wow. Bunch of turrets go down. Ton of the bios goes down. Unbelievable. And SquaLL's going to have a good angle here just to keep coming in and picking off SCVs and Marines as they come back.
Yeah, and this is why you're seeing a lot of players go Valkyrie now, because how are you supposed to ever engage mutas like this? Like, they just deal so much damage. You saw, what, 4 Marines insta-die?
Oh, no!
Oh my god, he didn't pay attention to the Mutalis. And those Valkyries, even though it's 2 shots, get a lot of damage done.
Yeah, those Muta just are hurt. He will not be able to come back in with them. I wonder if this will trigger him to start producing some lurkers, because now he realizes the move out that's going to be coming. Going to be tough to stop this with the Valkyrie with just Muta here.
Yeah, I think SquaLL is going to be kicking himself that he went weapon this game as opposed to armor, because if he had armor, then all of a sudden this push really isn't very scary. He, of course, wouldn't have splashed as many Marines down, but he could have killed all the turrets with armor anyways. But now he sees Valkyries, and he's in a load of trouble. You know, the upgrade takes almost 3 minutes, and we know TerrOr's not going to let him sit there for 3 minutes. And Mass Muta Scourge can beat this, surprisingly. You wouldn't think it can, but it can. But I don't know if you're going to get connections and turn rate 14 onto those Valkyries.
Yeah, that's part of the trick here, right? Turn rate. But if he's able to get enough Muta and he gets a couple good ones, he could kill this armor. And if he does, he will put himself in a big winning position. So we're just waiting for this army to start pushing across the map here, and then SquaLL's going to have to engage at some point.
Here we go.
See.
Here's the move out. Now what you're looking for as Zerg is just to buy time. Now, okay, he's going to just counter, but Valkyrie gets picked. No, it does not get picked off. The Scourge are not microing as he wants. This is disaster scenario. 3 Valkyries versus +0 mutas. Oh my god, they almost all just get vaporized. And the Marine Medic ball is just moving across the map. He at least has some lurkers, I guess, but I don't even think TerrOr's going to be afraid of 2 lurkers and 3 Sunkens, even if he didn't have any tanks.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no! Bye, Muta. Oof. And now we have 3 tanks here.
This is disaster. He's got to buy time for his Defilers and consume. He just taps out because he knows there's no way. Impossible. So nice timing from TerrOr there. I think that SquaLL could have done it with +1 armor, but you can see how hard it is to control Muta and Scourge into Valks in turn rate 14. It's just so ridiculously hard.
Yeah, if he picks that first one that came back and connects with the 2 Scourge on another, he might be able to take it right there. But unfortunately, couldn't get all those units to do what they want right away. And the Valkyries, I blinked, Nyoken, and I saw full health mutas go down to blue. I don't know what happened. I closed my eyes for a second. Boop! There was no more, no more muta health.
Quite a powerful unit. I mean, there's a reason Valkyrie play is becoming meta right now. It's because it just shuts it down. You go mutas, mistake, you're gonna get punished. But now we've got SquaLL on his map pick. This is it. This is for all the marbles. We have not seen Circuit Breaker all the time. I don't want to play a 2-player map if I'm playing TerrOr. He knows where you are, man. So that eliminates Butter. That eliminates Odyssey. I think it has to be Circuit Breakers or Sylphid. Sylphid, as you stated earlier, if Terran gets bottom right, nightmare place to spawn in terms of putting turrets down, especially at your natural. So Sylphid could also be a good choice.
Yeah, I think Sylphid is the way to go for SquaLL. He can still do some kind of trickery if he'd really like. Lose him some playability if TerrOr is bottom right and he can harass with the Muta and he likes the Muta play. So I think that gives him the best shot to take the series down. But we'll see with what he decides what he wants. Oh,
There it is.
and it is Sylphid.
All right, well, this is it. Last game of the day. We have not seen Sylphid at all. Who's going to make it through? Is it TerrOr or is it going to be another Zerg? SquaLL.
TerrOr keeping the hope alive for the Terran.
No, man.
Him and Mihu.
All right, now we are ready. So let's get into the final game of the day. TerrOr vs. SquaLL on Sylphid. Okay, in the top middle position are Red Terran. It is TerrOr.
And mid left, we have SquaLL, who is building a drone.
He is building a drone, so no 4 pool. And if I see a 5 pool, I'm going to be really angry because it's not a thing, but luckily not the case. We are just going to have a normal opener from him, and you got to start thinking about, okay, well, TerrOr has not 8 racks all day long, but actually, thinking back to all the series I've casted from TerrOr, when TerrOr generally plays quite normal, like in terms of opening with 8 racks or not, if he hasn't shown it in the early stages of a series or of a round, he doesn't really do it at all the entire series. So I do not expect 8 racks here. I expect him to wall his main like he did on Butter, and we'll see how he transitions from there.
Yeah, we could see some tricky play here with some kind of factory open or even two-port Wraith is an option on this map, which we know TerrOr is very good at. So the only thing with the two-port Wraith, it is turn rate 14. So I don't know if that's something that he'd want to venture into because he has to be the one microing, but never know.
And actually not going to be a wall, so just
Shocked,
going to be normal
actually.
placement. Yeah, I know. TerrOr is also one of those players that just, if it's possible at a wall, he's going to go for it. So little surprising, but still, normal. Now he got the racks coming down, so no 14 CC, and we are going to have 12 hatch from SquaLL as usual.
Yeah, all standard stuff. I think you get in the scenario, right? You're on your last lifeline. A lot of times it's probably better to just play standard, hit your build, and get after it.
And I'm waiting to see if we got gas from TerrOr, but 12 gas timing has come and gone, so this is just going to be another normal expansion build. We've got the 11 pool coming down, gas coming down. So again, this is literally identical to last game, everything. And I wonder if he'll build as many lings as he did last game, because they did get 3 kills, but I think he thought he could get 4 or 5 more kills with the lings. So maybe this time around he won't build as many lings and just kind of build 2 and just drone up.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We could see him maybe go for some type of ling all in here also. I think that's always a powerful build. Like you said, if you can kill that first SCV right away, if he could focus on that, maybe he can get an advantage that way. But I think it's always good to keep those types of things available to you as Zerg. Supply depot going down right away again here.
Yep, supply depot wall. I mean, it's just so good. It doesn't necessarily need to be the second depot. It could be your third depot, but definitely if you're a Terran player out there, definitely put one of your early depots in front of your command center. It messes up the AI, limits the surface area and everything. Makes it much easier to hold ling all-ins. Second racks follow up from TerrOr, so again, he's not willing to risk being greedy with fast eBay upgrade. He is just going to go 2 racks, which is very, very safe. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into tanks and Valks again like he did last game. I mean, it was so successful. Why not?
Yeah, why change up what works, right? Don't just play that kind of meta and just crush it. And especially knowing SquaLL loves Muta play. Like every single game so far, minus the 4 pool, we've seen Muta ling. So
Yeah.
might be the way to go.
And it's not like the Muta lings are even rushing an evolution chamber where the the lings have +1 armor or anything. I mean, it's just pure tons of lings and pure Muta. So it wouldn't necessarily mean TerrOr even has to worry about, oh, is this Muta ling or is this ultra rush, right? So I think we're probably gonna see it again. And that SCV died. Do it. Put the Hydrogen down. Oh, No. It didn't die quick enough, so it is going to be a Spire.
Okay, I thought we might see a bunch of lings be built right there as well. All larva up, boom. Here we go.
Here we go. It's game time, but not going to be the case. And actually, we've got a fast drone moving out. So it looks like he's going to take bottom middle, maybe, on the high ground. I like how SquaLL mixes up his third base placements, but for some reason, there's already an SCV out on the map. I actually thought he was going to find it instantly, which would have been amazing for TerrOr.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought that as he was going down there to block it, nightmare eBay scenario again.
SCV catches the lings, and now that he sees lings, and he's probably thinking like, okay, why are you making lings? I wouldn't. If we look at the natural of TerrOr, I'm sure he's building a bunker right now. That SCV's still alive somehow. Oh, he didn't build a bunker. Wow, this is actually doomsday scenario because first off, TerrOr didn't build a bunker somehow. He recognized that it's not a ling flood, and he kept the lings back. So these Marines are already halfway across the map before the lings can even spot them. Sunken, I guess one was already in production, but he needs two to hold this. Regardless, again, he's hitting at a moment where SquaLL has to make a decision. Am I building lings or am I building mutas? He's decided he's going to build mutas, which means he's probably dead unless this sunken completes and he builds. Oh my god, here he goes. He's stemming for it. I think he might just die. But the medic is way far back. Luckily, lings being produced at the natural. So actually, he does hold clutch production of the lings at the natural.
Yeah, and that Evo actually took the first couple volleys from the Marines, so that was a big deal there as well. But is this enough to hold right now? I mean, I think TerrOr's going in here.
Yeah, this is round 2, but remember, he already stemmed once, so these Marines are not that healthy, but I guess it doesn't matter when all the lings get vaporized and there's only 2 mutas. What a sick timing from TerrOr. He's mowing down all of the drones, kills the Overlord, kills a muta as it pops out, stems out a fire bat into the main that has gone unnoticed. Oh my god, this is a heartbreaking way to lose this SquaLL.
GG from SquaLL, and TerrOr does it. El Champion moves on.
Yeah, it just hurts so much as well because if he doesn't send all of his link, literally if he just has one ling outside of Terran's natural, he gets his sunkens in time. 100% he gets his sunkens in time. But the fact that this one SCV pulls him away for like 15 seconds, it ends the game. Oh, it hurts.
Tough games out here. Tough games sometimes. Heartbreak. TerrOr felt it first, then he got 4 pulled, and then he pulled it back and broke someone else's heart.
Yeah, just straight through the heart, TerrOr. I mean, he's ruthless, man. He played very well all day long, almost taking down Zhanhun. I mean, he even, in fact, should have got, or maybe not should have is the right word, but could have gotten out in first place. So congratulations to him to still bring it back and make it out of the group in second place. But unfortunately, neither of our Zergs make it out. So we've got, I think, 4 Terrans, 9 Protoss, and 3 Zergs. Something like that. Either way, it's Protoss's tournament to lose, really, because they just have so many remaining.
Protoss, you know? Just, what can I say? What can I say? Terrible people. Terrible people.
I know. Well, that's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, we got to thank our Patreon supporters. At the $100 level, we have the one and only Star Lover. $50 level Striker, Believe in Zero, My Fleeting Dream via Rev, Hatched Fuzzy. $30 Tim Cuz, Tupacalypse, Robert Group, and Niantic. And at $20 level, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ, Daniel Lopez, LML, Machine, and Quark. And we have so many other Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for supporting the BSL. And remember, $10 support or above, you get all of the replays of the BSL. So definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter or support some other way, such as subbing or direct donations to the stream. And with all that said, you got any final words, Raz, before we get to the round of 16 group draw? Oh, let me ask,